configuration.
I'll sit down one day.
He'll sit down one day. When will that be?
Never.
One day never. Someone breaks his legs.
I'm still standing.
I'm still standing. Yeah. I'm still standing.
Where's your merches?
Yeah, I actually do need to buy some merch.
I know. I just had no money for this. I'll be like, I should do it. No money. And I was like, no, it's here.
He got the Dr. Phil knife hands. No money.
No money.
Dr. Phil was like,
no deal. No deal.
You can stand there for the whole episode.
You won't.
He will. Oh,
Fuck that. I got a drink.
Got a drink? You got yourself your drinks? You ready for the?
Oh yeah, I got my beverages.
He's got his beverages. He's got his beverages. I think we're all strapped in, strapped on, and ready for a. He's choking at the start of the potty. You know what that calls for. Are you ready? He's ready. He's strapped. I told you, he's strapped in, strapped on for another episode of the Beardedversary.
I'm not coming through.
I know. That's the point.
I want to get my notes.
Podcast.
Oh, John, you had all this time.
John. It's weird for a change because I'm at the bottom for a change. Usually it's me and Jim. It's me and Jim next to each other, and everyone on guest is at the bottom. But this time for me, I'm at the bottom. I'm all by myself in my own panel. I'm below Jim. So Jim's up there. We got Juddy over here. So what's up, Beardies and Beardettes? To a special episode. It is our 1 year anniversary. Woo!
Oh yeah.
1 year.
So quick.
And we got ourselves a special guest back again, Juddy. He featured in the first episode of season 2, and now he's here for the anniversary as well. He's been an avid listener for a long time.
Yeah, haven't missed a week so far.
So now he's in another one. So, we had to do it. Was hoping to have Wookie as well, but Wookie might have had a poker night. I don't know what was going on.
He'll probably do what Wookie does and just randomly turn up.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Hopefully, or like the one time we did it where we had the podcast and we had ended and he showed up just after the podcast. And we're like, dude, you missed it. And he's like, oh, and it was like 10 minutes, like just after we had wrapped up. He joined the Discord, like, dude, you could have just jumped in. And I told him that. So maybe, hopefully, he might just jump in at any time. It'd be great. So who knows what we might have. So, what a year it's been,
dear.
huh? What a year.
Like you said, it's gone quick, and I'm surprised. I gotta give it to you, boys. You're still going. So.
An episode a week for the last 52 weeks. Like,
well, we like made it more than most podcasts. Really, like usually in the first year.
Made it more than our podcast.
Yeah. You got the one episode. That's crazy.
Pac-Man.
Yeah, there's Pac-Man. He's got his little Xbox logo behind him there.
I haven't even used that Xbox thing, and I turned it on, and the X doesn't even light up. So
it's dodgy. It's dodgy. So you wouldn't even known. I mean, that's as you've said. What you've seen if you've ever watched it. There's all my shit behind me.
Yeah, see, that's why I gotta start buying some stuff. So
I got my 2 shelves, of course, my Halo shelf there, and then.
Is that a 3D printer?
Yeah, my 3D printer right here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we're so bare, Juddy.
Got so much crap going on here. Mine especially has so much crap going on. So.
Sorry, Jim, you got the big ass 1940s cupboard there.
His giant wardrobe.
Yeah, boy.
Can't beat a classic wardrobe, can you not? Oh.
I could probably put things on it.
You could, maybe.
You could.
Green screen.
Who knows? No,
I did say
just green screen.
So then every time someone opens the door, whether it's Felix or your brother stepping in, they're still coming in, but it's just like there's a green screen spot.
I mean, I wouldn't count that out.
You
again.
should confuse people though, like even like get a snapshot of your backdrop and then green screen your own wall behind you, so that confuses people when you turn it off.
I can green screen you've just that camera though, and it cuts out everything. So.
Or you should like just do that back, like says when you like, it's like, oh look at my background, you just go turn off and it's just green. You're like, what the hell? Was that green screen the whole long? But it's like your normal backdrop. Just confuse people.
Wait, well, you never seen me open it.
Well, that's what I want to do here. Like remember that episode I did? It was basically, it looked like I was green screen because of the depth of field. It didn't sit right, and it looked like...
I missed that because I was listening to audio at work and you were talking about it.
Like,
I can imagine what's going on, but I can't see.
I know, that's why it's hard. Like, there was actually only one episode.
Was floating.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and there's like this weird spot because just how the angle of the camera was sitting, it just made it look like it was like
it's kind of doing it now. Still, it's weird. Like the stuff beside you looks so small compared to what it is.
I think it was like a weird.
Was it last week's episode? You had a cigarette, but in your ear.
Yeah, the thing is, it was like that, wasn't it? Like the reflection of that,
and
like
then
it was like that. It was like that, wasn't it? Like that because the helmet was the gold, and then that was the white from that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It looks like a cigarette. So it looked like I was resting on my ear, but it wasn't. So
that's what everyone's missing out if you listen on Spotify.
That's it. So that's what this. That's it. So we kind of already started.
See, Johnny.
Yeah.
Wow. That's right.
Yeah, because you see him, and like the first episode was just like first episode. It was just audio, but it's like at least it's on YouTube. But it was a start, and look where we are now. Like that's the thing. It's a whole reflection. We already started reflecting. We already talked about previous episodes. So,
crazy man.
I was like, have you seen at least looked at the YouTube at all?
Yeah. So I've watched like if I'm sitting at home, I'll chuck them on. Like if I'm like scrolling through YouTube, I'll chuck them on. But it sort of defeats the purpose because I listen to every episode on Spotify because I'm at work. So I got Bluetooth headphones. I just chuck them in, and while I'm on the machine, I'm just listening to the podcast. I go to YouTube. What's going to happen next?
It's just a different experience, I guess, because video visually.
Just to go the whole episode. Just Johnny.
Johnny. It's like on YouTube, it's a normal video, but on the podcast, it's just Johnny. I don't know if we replace an edit cut in and just troll everyone, just bait everyone. Well, I was gonna say because it was previous episode I did because it was like that because things translate from video to audio. You can't get everything. So there was an episode. I think it was last week or the week before. Too many episodes anyway. Basically, there's a segment that wouldn't translate over from video to audio, so I cut that out, and it was like that part where I left you by yourself, Jim, and I had to deal with Jack.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So yeah. I had to cut that down. So in the video, you actually got to see Jim plug stuff, and I put stuff in, and it made sense. But when it wasn't, when it's just audio, it's so bad. It's just Jim, and it's like quiet points, and Jim's just like, podcast, check it out. Like, look here and here. Like, how are people supposed to look? It's audio. Like, it doesn't work. And you can hear Jack screaming, and it just doesn't work as audio. It sounds like I was beating up my child. It was like, that doesn't sound good. Like, the point where you hear him screaming.
Out and you're like, I'm going to leave you, Jim, to...
And then it just comes back.
And run it. And I'm like, all right, I'm not interested. Let's see what happens here. And then it was just like, you just appeared back. I was like,
yeah, that's exactly it. Because it's just bad. Because if you watch the video, there's a point you know that I've come back into the door, I've closed the door, and you hear Jack crying, and then I close the door, and it sounds like I must have belted him. And I was like, that's not what happened at all. It's just me closing the door, leave him in there crying. He can deal with that out there. Just don't bring that into here. Like, I'm just going to cut that off so it's not so loud. I was like,
having kids.
Right? He just had a nanny that night. I was like, I'm not wanting to deal with it. Just do your own thing. Like, I don't care if you're gonna stay up. Just stay up and just be in your room. Just do that. Just don't come in here.
Great. I just give her a big tub of Play-Doh, and she's just like, sit there and won't even make a sound. So if we're gonna do something, Play-Doh
go to Play-Doh. But it's crazy. Like, but we've just like I was gonna say with the YouTube though is the thumbnails I've been making. Have you been taking notice of the thumbnails?
Yeah, I'll be missing the thumbnails.
The thumbnails I keep doing?
They're so good.
Like, I did hear in one of the episodes you describing what you were doing with them, but...
Yeah, well, that's trying to at least explain so people got an understanding, at least for audio, because it does definitely now being in this video format, you do kind of translate differently. and it's still trying to keep
Oh,
that.
hell
You got to
yeah.
be mindful. Okay, people are listening through audio as well. Some days we just forget about that. I think there's one
Is that,
episode I completely
300
forgot.
images you had to put in, like
Yeah, the 3-hour one. It was like a 3-hour episode. There was 150 images I downloaded and I edited into the thing, and I'm like, I'm not doing this again. And like next week's episode, I put like 2 or 3 images in, and I was like, yep. And then the week after, I stopped editing, and then I kind of picked it up again. So it's just
What was
crazy.
last week there was one. The spoilers for.
MKU. I think that's why I have views on that one. Honestly, I think because I put spoiler warning over everything on that. The views on that video is horrendous. It's one of the lowest ones we've had feedback on, and I don't blame people. I can understand because
I mean, they'll get watched eventually.
Eventually.
Once,
Well,
once
that's
they watch
it,
the movie, and then
It's like you can talk about it now because it's been out for long enough. If you wanted to see it, you should have already done it.
And that's kind of the thing. Well, I mean, it was still fairly fresh, and I hate doing it within like that week of it being released. I was like, I didn't want to talk about it, and I got trapped talking about it, and I was like, fuck, god damn it. And then I kept, even in the podcast I said, I'm like, I'm talking about it. They're like, didn't bother to stop me.
Spoil it.
And I was like, fuck it. We're starting. These boys wouldn't stop me, and I'm like, you gonna stop me? Clearly not. Let's just go with it.
I was looking at Wookiee. He's just like he's gone too far.
Yeah, that's what you did. I was drinking. You need to tell me to just fucking stop. I would have stopped, but you didn't. And I was like, fuck it. You can see it. You can see it in my mind. I was like, fuck it.
Because it was pretty much a day or 20-minute ramble of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's why I had to put that spoiler, because it's 20 minutes. If it was like 5 minutes, like a little 5 minutes, that would have been different. But the fact that it's like a 20-minute segment of the video, like when I had to cut it and mark it and stuff. I even put like the video in the I actually reused the thumbnail in the video as well. Like I put that in just before it happens, and I put that whole nerd spoilers, spoiler alert. It was like, just let people know that, and I'd put it in the title, it's in the text, it's in the description, it's in everything. It's just warnings for everything, so people knew, so that we couldn't have any problems.
Your nails are putting me off, Daz. What have you done to them? Yeah, other one.
I noticed that. I was like, he painted his nails. I'm not gonna say anything. It's 2021.
Yin and yang.
You do whatever you want.
I think it's, well, yin and yang, whichever way. I haven't done them white though, but that's the kind of what I was going with.
Yeah,
I've seen it before. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I thought you just painted your nails black.
No, they kind of are. They were actually a ocean. It's like a blue. It's like an ocean breeze or something. It actually smelled. They had a smell, like a different smell. Like they have the enamel smell when you put them on, and after it dries, it has a different smell to them. And I was like, okay then. Like that's different.
How does that work?
I know. I was like,
just going
because at first I was putting it, I'm going, does it smell? I was like, nope, that's enamel. I was like, holy shit! I'm gonna get high for that.
Holy shit!
I was like, oh god damn it! And I waited, and I was like, oh, that's different. So, yeah, something
I
for
thought I
a
was tripping.
change. Whoa.
I'll tell you what you should do one episode is you've got enough time. I seen on TikTok some guy had a 3D printer and he's printed little, like they're only about this big, as like 2 centimeters for people listening, but and they were dinosaur dicks. So like
Yeah,
I'm just gonna buy a 3D printer for that.
I did download a file for one of those at one point. It was just the original dick meme, like the little, if you remember the old little, like the same thing. It's not the dinosaur versions, but it was that little dick with the face kind of thing. That little, that one. It was just that the little dickhead or whatever it was, just the little feet and its little stubby dick. So
Just have it printing away in the background. It'd be hilarious.
Oh,
And at the end of the podcast, like dinosaur dicks.
I would want that, but I feel like it makes a lot of noise. Like it is horrendous. Like
Yeah,
you
you probably can't
pick
have
it up
that.
there.
I would have to put, but like I printed out once before, like the little Among Us. They're very white.
Oh yeah.
I painted one so you can kind of, it looks better on camera. Oh no, maybe not. Oh,
Not
fuck
quite.
it. They're pretty broken. Oh no, which one was the dodgy one? That might have been the dodgy one. It looked okay. That maybe was. Fuck, where'd it go? Oh well. Oh.
Do that.
Wow.
I was gonna go for the shoulder and I just fucking smacked myself.
If it's not your finger on your deb,
Yeah, when I'm doing this, I gotta hear it. I'm like, because I do this. I've been doing this a lot, and it gets to a certain spot, and it pulls, and I'm like, and like I've done it now. For fuck's sake! Oh my god. But yeah, so clear the tears. Oh, like we did get cracked up. Was that one episode where we like laughed our fucking heads off?
You're crying already, and we just started.
that's a lot of it.
We're only 15 minutes into the episode. We're not even started. We're like just at the precipice. But So yeah, so it's been a while since what? Yes, yes, I'm having a stroke. And yeah, it's been a while since now we're episode 15, 6, no, 7, 8, 18, 18?
Eight.
18?
No,
Yeah,
18, because not last week, the week 4 was my birthday, then it was a gap, and then it was this one. So episode
That's pretty way
18.
off.
So it's been 17 episodes then since you were last in.
Yes.
Because you was the first one and now here, so it's been a bit of a
Yeah.
gap. And we've had like Wookiee in like how many times now? Like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I think he's been in at least 4 times.
Yeah, I was
There's more
trying to
than
get
that.
times to work out because I was like, oh, I get Wookiee, and I was like, oh, and we started like, oh fuck, I was meant to message Jodie, and I was like, oh shit, I think I might have mentioned it in the episode as well. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I forgot to message Jodie about it. I was like, fuck.
So
I was
I'm
like,
here for the important one.
onto it,
That's
yeah,
all that
that's exactly it. We had to have you here, so.
I mean,
So-
you kind of had to be, really.
Well, that's exactly it.
Well, I wanted to be for one, and I was like, well, I can only do Sunday because I finished work today or this morning. So, yeah, I was like, but then the podcast will be late because it's on Saturday. And I was like stressing. I was like, yeah.
Nah, it's alright.
To be
Well,
fair,
it's
it's usually uploaded by Monday, so
Well, I've got Monday off anyway, so it gives me
that's
something to
good.
do tomorrow.
because it's weird because we went from uploading Saturday because it was just the audio to Sunday, Monday for the video. So.
Well, it was like that one because it was 3 hours long. I'd done the audio, managed to because I didn't have to worry about references. Uploaded that, but then because I had 150 photos, it took me 3 days to get the video up on YouTube. So I didn't get up to like Wednesday, and I was like, oh fuck it. People like it kind of worked because we had been trying the new stuff. So that's another
Yeah.
thing too. I was gonna say if you haven't, well, you said you've seen the YouTube. Have you looked at the new stuff we started doing?
On the YouTube, I haven't. No.
So we started trying. I tried doing a news cover myself when we did the PewDiePie event happen. I wanted to try something different, so I put a kind of like my review rant kind of thing of the situation that was going on to try and see how that would work. And then we've tried doing trailer reviews at the moment, like or not
Yeah,
reviews,
I've
more
seen,
reacts, trailer reacts.
I've
So
seen the trailer review for what was it? What was that?
we've done
review
2.
for?
We've done
Suicide
Suicide
Squad.
Squad.
Suicide Squad. That's right. Yeah.
What
Well,
was the other-
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. the
Right.
typo. There's so many like bad typos on a lot of stuff now. We've had to run with that joke. So yeah, so we're trying to do a lot of that. Trying to think of doing that now as well, but it's
I
maybe.
mean, you've
something.
only done them 2 things, so.
Yeah, so it's we're trying to mix up, chuck something in there.
Because
I know because there's so many trailers for us to react to.
I watched the trailer and then I'm like,
We
oh,
should
I
do
should
this.
have videoed that.
So
Like the Ratchet and Clank, I should have done that, but I didn't.
well, that's exactly it. So
Yeah.
we're
well,
looking.
Ratchet and Clank is a damn good game, and I've watched the movie while my ex-partner was giving birth, and I was like, "This is the perfect time." In the hospital, I'm just like, she's
Oh
screaming,
god.
Like, okay, Ratchet and Clank's on.
Well, I mean,
such good games, though. Like,
it's what June next month,
June 11th.
June 11th.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty. It
month,
looks pretty
pretty
good. I'm keen. I just don't have a PS5, but I'm keen.
I'm just.
Is it
I'm
only on PS5 or
Yeah.
PS4? Oh,
Only on
Damn.
PS5. They've improved a lot. Like
Need to get a
looking
5,
at comparison,
nobody can. So I
nobody
can't.
can. Yeah. Well, like, they've redesigned the whole model altogether because I've seen the side by side comparison from like the PS4 game and then this one, and they look different. Like,
Oh, yeah.
way
Well,
different.
Like the fur on Ratchet now looks so good.
Because what's this? And there's a new character which is the alternate dimension,
Rivet.
which is Rivet. So you got Ratchet. Oh no, is it Rivet? Yeah, it's Ratchet and Rivet. Yeah.
Is it Rivet?
Well,
Go
Rivet
Rivet
was
for-
in the second game, wasn't he?
Nah.
No,
Sure.
she's a new
Let's
character.
see. Ah, right.
Nah, she's one that people are getting thirsty over, so.
So
Ooh.
it's another Lola Bunny situation. But
It happens.
But definitely, like, you can already see that she's the alternate dimensional version of Ratchet. We've already.
No, she's her own thing. Like, she's not a thing of Ratchet. She's another Lombax.
Well, that's the thing, but from where it's coming from, because she kind of already had the idea of Clank, she already had there's already an alternate version of her bad guy, which they have in that universe.
Dr. Nefarious.
Yeah, that she's dealt with her own version, which is a lot different. So, what I'm starting to see is,
Yeah, but
I
I think
feel.
she's not a Ratchet, though. I think she's just a Lombax with her.
Have you
she's
seen the
her own
latest? Have you
thing.
have you watched the latest trailer?
Yeah.
I haven't myself.
That's if you actually really like. I paid a lot of attention to it, and it's leading to more that it's a more parallel, like it's Finn and Jake, as in Finn and Jake and Fiona and Cake, It's not like like it's an alternate universe where because the game's very derived on alternate dimensions. It's from what I've been paying attention to. She's going to be an alternate dimensional version that's come into this dimension, and it's like the parallels, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's like
we find out in 4 weeks.
Because I think that technically she's kind of shocked that there's another Lumbax that she's never seen before, and Ratchet's kind of in the same situation. So it's kind of like alternate dimensions crossing over.
Lumbax?
Yeah, and then she's like, "What?" And then because she thinks she's in her reality by the sound of it. She was confused because she's like, "But this is she's not."
But until she went bloop.
So
because Ratchet saw her and she's like, "Clank!"
Yeah, because it's very confusing. So I was like, "Looks like we might have an alternate dimensional version."
Because he went to her dimension.
Yeah,
and then she went zip when he got there.
They swapped worlds, so it's like alternate. So in maybe that other, it's Rivet. So if it's Ratchet and Clank, would it be Rivet and Clink?
Clink.
Rivet and Clink.
Clunk.
Clunk? Maybe Clunk?
Clunk.
Rivet and Clunk. This is riveting information. So that's what I feel. That's what I feel I reckon it's going to be, which would be kind of cool because we get to see something different for a change. Especially being she's a big main character.
I'm actually got the mechanical arm.
Well, that's exactly it. We're going to find out.
Oh, she got a whole. She made that arm herself, so.
Tech wizard.
She's the.
She's more smart.
She's got the brains.
Much smarter than Ratchet.
Well, Ratchet's an engineer, so makes sense. She made her own arm. But I want to play it.
Want to play it?
I want to play it.
Sadly, I will not because I'm only on PC.
Exactly.
I'll stream it for you, Juddy. How's that?
Yeah, right, then I'll see it.
He'll be lucky enough to stream it and be like, ha ha ha, I got a PS5. Ha ha ha.
The one of 5 people in the world.
Basically.
But as we can see, I mean, we haven't seen it before, but you've got this lovely shelf behind you.
Yes, brand spanker.
So you've been doing up your room, so that's what we're going back to that. I was doing to talk about it beforehand. So you're doing some renovations. You've been a busy boy.
I have been a busy boy, so I got a bit bored and decided to cut some holes.
As we do.
Bored.
Yes, it's coming along, but I'm over it. That's for sure.
Because is it ensuite you're building?
Yeah, well, so it's in the house. Like I'm in the house now, where I was before. I have a stream room in my shed, which I fully built, which was a dual stream room.
Yep.
Yeah, the idea was to have one person in one and the other, but people get busy and blah blah blah. So that's just an engine room now where I build engines and that. So there's no dust
that moved
in there.
on. That moved on pretty quick from it.
Yeah, so it works well. That and Lance, I was out there and like my daughter would be asleep inside, and Lance is like, "I hope the house doesn't burn down," and I'm just like in the shed, in a room inside the shed, and I'm just like, that's true. I wouldn't know if the house did burn down. So now I'm inside and got my setup again. And,
yeah.
Got these shelves.
So that's I guess a plus side to owning a house then.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You get to do whatever you want. It's like, oh, I don't like this wall. Let's just move it out.
That's what happened. I was laying in bed and I was looking at the TV and I'm like, because I got a wall-mounted TV, I'm like, I'm going to put that TV on this wall and I'm going to cut 2 archways either side of the TV, so when you get out of bed, you can just walk straight into the ensuite. And that's what I've done.
Well, it'd be good to see when you've done what that looks like. So we'll have to stay up to date on that one, I think, and we'll share that.
Don't be in a rush because I'm not rushing.
No, it'll be a while. This will be like maybe another
22.
22. It's done. We'll get it up on the Instagram or something. We'll share it around. Check out what he's done. Reference back to this episode.
Reference back to the
2nd year anniversary. It might be finished.
Oh
yeah. Maybe. Well, that's right. Let's keep you busy. I've been thinking about that here. As you can see here, I rent. So we're renting and we're in the garage.
Limited to what you can do.
Limited to what
I was going to say, are you in the garage?
I am in the garage. This is the garage.
Window or...
Oh yeah, totally. So what? Actually, I've been having the idea. Well, that's the thing. I've been having the idea. So that's the garage door. I've been really contemplating to actually lift that door up and build a wall that actually sits in and kind of loosely, like inside, bolts onto the runner. Yep. Therefore, I can just unscrew it and pull it off when it's done, and I can like break it down or whatever. Whenever I do decide to move, so at least then I've got a temporary wall up. at least kind of run it with some rubber and stuff like that. Maybe put a window in, because my room basically, because it's a garage, it has no windows.
No
There's a
windows,
door,
yeah.
but that's at the other end with all the guinea pigs and stuff. And we're looking at getting more guinea pigs because we're getting a lot more lethals to look after. Well, they basically would be taking them on, and that's going to take up more space, and it's just going to start smelling more like guinea pigs. So I'm like, I'm going to have to start ventilating this room a lot more. I don't really want to have the whole garage door open, and I'm thinking, what if I measure that up, build a wood frame, and put a window into it? Then I can like open the window, let air in, have a curtain up, and like have that.
Is that a automatic door or is that a manual door?
Manual?
Manual. So what I would do is I'd lift the door up, build a frame that slides in your rollers, pull the door down, and that just holds it in
And
place.
holds it exactly. That's exactly it. Because I can just hold it from the top. And like I said, mount it on the side. Especially, I was thinking, because you've got that screw hole, or not the cutout hole for where the door slides through the lock. I was thinking I could put a bolt through that as well to mount it in, so it stops it from moving. And then just get some clamps and just make my own clamps along the bottoms and tops to actually sturdy it along the side. Put some rubber stopping across the bottom so it stops the rain from getting in. You know, like gap it off with stuff and just do it up, and then maybe paint the outside of it so it looks a bit more nicer, so it's not just wood. And then that might actually open it up more, and I was thinking that would be cool, because then I could even maybe build myself some frames out of wooding that just sits up against stuff, and then build off of it and do my own work, you know. That's an idea I've had, so because it does get the cold comes in, which is good, but at the same time when it's hot the heat comes in,
the heat bounces
off
it,
that, and it just accumulates the heat. It's like and I'm like, I need that airflow. So I'm thinking that's something I might do at a stage, because then it's just like, well, it's not actually fixed to the building. So,
no, which you can do in rentals easy.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that might be something I do, because a mate of mine, he does a rental, and he was like, oh, can I paint the walls? And I'm like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. And he painted the map of Middle Earth on his wall. And they're like, that's fine. They're like, that's fine as long as you just paint it over when you move out. And it's like, yep. But I'm like, who in these days allows someone to paint the Middle Earth on the wall?
They didn't say that. They just said paint.
The new rental agreements coming. I don't know if for Queensland, but for Victoria, you actually are allowed to paint the walls now.
Yeah.
You're allowed to hang photos and everything.
We've been kind of doing that anyway. Like, there was a few screw holes already in the walls in most spots. People here before were like kind of a bit of like rev heads, but they were like Pakis or something like that. I heard, or not, I don't know, the Lebanese. I can't remember. They neighbors thing, but they're into engines. There's like on the driveway, you can see where they like high pressure hose their car mats out, because there's the car mat print of like their floor mats on the driveway. And there's like hooks up in the ceiling and stuff where they've had like, they're still actually in the ceiling right above me, 3 screws in the roof where they've screwed in screws and they've had something tied off of it, and like 7 holes around the screws where they've gone, oh, it's fallen out, let's move it to another hole, and just screw another hole in it. And then like there's a big gaping hole further down. The strip edging is missing off the manhole. It's like what have they done to this house? What have they had? Like there's paint splatches, like they've tried touching up the walls.
Lifted engines and everything.
Well, that sounds like they've been doing, and I'm like, well, it's now a gaming studio, studio for me.
I wouldn't trust the damn garage roof to hold an engine.
Well, that's what I'm confused. Like they've had stuff, and that's why I'm like, oh, well, and I end up just putting screw hooks in the walls, and it's got my power leads across it now to keep all my cables off the ground. So I've got my
sounds like my house. My house was an old drug house. They used as a grow house.
Oh god.
So that's why I brought it, was because I was like, oh, I can use this I can get it a bit cheaper. And there's 3,000 plants in the house. So like it was a big operation.
Oh god.
And they've cut holes in the floor. Like I fixed them all now, but there was holes in the floor and plants under the floor. And it was just crazy, like hooks in the roof.
Just like little compartments, little trapdoors under the house.
Oh, it was crazy. And like in the room I'm in now, which you can sort of see, it's got floating floor, and I don't want to lift it up because I know there'll be holes under there.
Oh,
cut a hole or something. So
there'll be stuff.
I'll get to it one day.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh my god.
No, I mean, most houses are probably like that.
Well,
they're like,
well, no one lived here. They literally just grew marijuana in here.
And they just make like people come by. It's like just to make it look like someone lived there.
Yeah,
every now and then.
Literally, that's they had 3,000 plants in here.
It was legit a pot house.
Yeah, that's all it was. No one lived here. It was just someone would come and check on them and might stay a night or something to make like someone did live here. But
Well, that was like, what was
do
it? My first place that we moved into, which was a unit, in a complex, and it's not the best complex for the neighborhood and stuff like that. But the one that we moved into, apparently it was a bunch of like Sudanese, South African or whatever. I don't know. But there was like at least 20 of them living in this tiny unit. And apparently it was used as like a hairdresser's and like a laundromat place. It was like everything was going on. And apparently basically just like everyone was living there, everyone was doing their hair, everyone would do their washing there. It's like, well, that's just fucked. Like, how do people manage this shit and just be like, you shouldn't be doing this, like why allow it to go for so long? It's just like,
I mean, if they don't know, so.
But yeah, it was kind of funny.
They're all paying $10 a week rent.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, that's just mental. But it was surprising when we first moved into that how like immaculate, like it was cleaned, it was everything, like it was insane. It was really good. Thankfully, it looked brand new, like, but it's a unit, so it's like it's not that much to do. And then that's another thing I want to get to know with the second place. So what I messaged you and I messaged Jim what we had because I want to have for topics was because it's been a year. What's like the idea was what's been the worst besides COVID? What's been the worst at least the worst experience to a degree? It can be anything really, and what's been the best. So that's where I kind of started segueing without even intentionally getting to it. Basically, somewhat the worst experience for me though this year was the second place we moved to, which is basically our first house we rented. It seemed great at first, but when we got to the point of hassling, I mean, I guess it kind of was COVID affected, but when we had to move out because we had so much mold in the house, was the worst fucking experience that I'd ever thought I'd go through. Because mold was just, we had mushrooms growing out of the hallway carpet. The wall was just basically gone, and like you could touch it, and it was just soft right behind the shower. We had mold growing up the walls behind the laundry cupboard, and there's like spores. There's all kinds of different like shit was growing out of it. And it's just like what the fuck is wrong with this shit? And that was like, I feel like that's what made me think about it because that was last year. That was one of the stupidest experiences we'd been through, and we had to get out because
paying for it. That's the worst.
Well, that was the worst part, yeah. And they kept fart-assing around, like, no, what the fuck's going on? Like, we need this sorted. And I told them the walls. They cut holes in the walls. We had one guy come out. He cut the hole out the wall to be like, okay, this is dodgy. We had to wait a while again for him to come back, so we had to have the wall taped up with tarp over it. That was like for like weeks, and like I think that was actually we even had that issue. If I remember going back to the podcast, I think it was because we were still at that place before, like I think when we started the podcast, and then I was at and then we were at Al's parents' place halfway through, like partway through at the start of it. So like that's the start of the podcast. Like that's where we were at, and that's like it was shit because they were fucking us around. Like we had Jack still, like he was 3. So you got a kid, and we got this. We have like the mold dampness of the fucking house was just stank, smelling that all the time. Like them cutting it out and then just leaving a gaping hole. Oh, you just took some tarp over it, some tape it up, and it'll be fine. It's like, what the fuck? You gonna do anything about? Weeks went by, no one did anything. Exactly. And they're like, oh, we'll come over, we'll fix it up, do all the stuff. We'll do up the bathroom, we'll fix the bathroom, quotation bathroom, because that was a fuck around, and it was like, oh, do that. And then they fart us around with that, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll do a pop-up bathroom outside, and we'll do the house while you're doing that." And I was like, "No, fuck that shit. We're getting out." I mean, we couldn't. It took us ages to find a place. We had to live with Al's parents, but like they ended up just replacing the shower. I was there to check because I had to let people in because we still had the keys, and we had to get like the real estate to come by. And I was watching what they were doing when I was there still, like basically kind of a tenant still. And the real estate didn't even care. It was like, I'm still technically your tenant. Like, we haven't even finished moving on yet. I'm still technically your tenant. And you're just blatantly, like, being super shady right in front of me, like, obvious blatant because you just didn't care anymore. Because, like, well, he's not going to be with us anymore. I don't care. But it's like, but we're still technically your tenant. Like, we can pass this on, which I did. I kind of ranted about in that one episode. I was like, fuck these guys, a bunch of fuckheads. They're so shady as fuck. Like, and it was, like, because they ended up just replacing the shower. Didn't bother with the bathroom. Like, it was just the shower they replaced. There was so much shit they had to do. Like, I fixed up their bathroom cupboards for them. Like, pulled them off, repaired them, because the chipboard was falling apart. It was swollen. I repaired all that. And then they just dodgily fixed up the shower. I didn't get to go back to actually see what they did, but when they were like pulling it apart, when we had the pesticide guy come through to like clean the carpets and do the stuff like when he left, he was just like, dude, like that sheeting board was like possibly asbestos in the wall for the shower, and I was like, what the fuck? Like it was like the blue board, and it's like that's partly asbestos shit, and I was like, oh my god, like thank fuck we're out of here. But like they're doing, if they were still living there and they're gonna do that while we're living there, all that shit would have been contaminated and shit. And I was like, this is just fucking dodgy, like shady fucking shit. I was like, it's fucked. And then
wrong.
they've patched it up, moved on. They've got people moved straight in like not that long after, but like. I wouldn't actually even know none the wiser. They've got half-done bathroom, I'm assuming. Like, I didn't know if they fixed the carpet.
To live in,
well, that was exactly it, because that was like us trying to apply for houses when we moved out, because we're like, no, we just need to get out of here. We haven't even had a house yet. We're like, no, we need to be out. Like, this is just fucking stupid. And that took us, like, months, like, because we're living with our parents, doing the podcast, sitting outside, like, because I didn't do it on a computer thing, so, like, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was like, fuck it. We just do this, and... yeah, that was like the shittiest fucking experience. Oh, it was crazy, but that was the most shittiest experience I've ever fucking had to deal with. You know, I was like, that's just fucking wrong, shady. It was just bullshit. But
there's definitely a shit time in 12 months.
Oh. So, like, that's what I mean. Like, and I guess, like, the hard part was trying to find another house, which, I mean, everyone was going through the bout, so that's COVID, but... I mean, this thing was happening. If there was no COVID, this thing was still happening either way.
Still gonna happen regardless, yeah.
And then, and then we left because I was definitely like, no, we need to get out when she heard the demons talking. the spirits talking to her at night. The soundbar randomly turned on. It was like, you need to leave. And she was like, yep, I'm done. We're moving. We're moving. But yeah, because later on I ended up hearing from like neighbors and stuff. Apparently, like the previous neighbor that was living, previous tenant that was living there, possibly passed away in the house. And shit like that, we're like, oh my god.
It's creepy because I believe in that shit.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. And then the fact that like we're late at night, and it's like I didn't wake up because I was dead asleep, but she woke up and Jack freaked out because the soundbar turned on really loud and was like, you need to get out. And she was like, what the fuck? And
wait,
like,
that actually fucking happened.
Yeah, she said she woke up in the middle of the night. The soundbar turned on. Yeah, the soundbar turned on. She tried waking me up. I wouldn't wake up because she's like, what? Did you hear that? And then the soundbar just turned on, and she's like, and then the soundbar just, you need to get out. And she was like, nope. And Jack was like, yeah. I was like, god damn it. I like missed it. And I was like, fuck. But another thing that got me was when we were cleaning the house as well. When we were cleaning up the house, dusting everything down because you know everything's gonna be clean before you move out. When I was dusting down stuff, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And when I was dusting up the top, because I'd flipped the blinds, they'd been the other way around. So they'd been like on the other side. I flipped it, and up the very top, there was like a dust print of like a small child's hand on the shutters. I was like, how the fuck? Like, Jack can't get up here for one. That's at the very top, like on the top runners. I'm like, who the fuck's touched this? It's a small kid's handprint. I'm like, this is fucking uncomfortable. And it'd been flipped on the other side, so it's like from the other side. So I've never noticed because its dust was gaining on the other side of it because I always left it the one side. And just gained dust, and I was like, flicked it, and I went to dust. I was like, and I didn't think of it taking a photo. I was just like dusting. I was like, oh, okay, and I just wiped it off. And I was like, oh fuck, I should have taken a photo of that because it was very prominent of like a kid's handprint on it. I was like, that's just fucking.
That is crazy.
Yeah, there's some weird shit that goes on in there. Like we've had issues before. The plot, like even with the unit, like it was some weird, creepy shit. Like Alice always sensed because she senses the shit. She sensed a dog was in the unit. You could always smell wet dog, but there was no wet dog in the complex. But like that.
That's weird.
But you could always smell it. Like sometimes you could smell it downstairs. Sometimes you could smell it upstairs. Like a dog was walking up and down. It's fucking weird.
That is so strange.
We've had some weird shit, man. It's weird, spooky shit. So that's basically where I segued into my worst fucking experience, like the worst of the year. So I was like, well, before I go to the best thing, I was gonna say, what have you guys had shitty experience like for the year?
You go, John.
Yeah. I mean, nothing personally.
Nothing too extreme.
All I had written down was Cyberpunk, the worst thing.
the worst thing that happened to me was Cyberpunk. Oh, sorry.
I had nothing personally though. Like
nothing.
Think of it.
Nothing really dramatic, really affecting. It's been all positive still. Nothing that you felt shitted off with. Nothing like, oh, why the fuck do I have to meet this Dale guy?
Yeah, the fuck this Dale guy.
The bloody perfect over here, Jim.
He's got the good shit living down there in Tassie. He's good vibes. Good vibes only.
Fuck, nothing bad apart from Cyberpunk. That's pretty much it.
Cyberpunk. That's
good.
You're lucky then. You're lucky. You're lucky then.
Which I mean, I think everyone's pissed off about that though.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I've had some experiences, cyberpunk glitches and shit that made me very angry. But
Yeah.
there's nearly, I think there's only a few episodes that haven't been mentioned. Cyberpunk.
Yeah, no, that's what. Is the thing where we're trying to get a sponsorship, or is it just like, I don't know?
I
It's
was
like,
sitting at work. I'm like, I wonder if they'll ever do an episode where they don't mention Cyberpunk at all. And it was like 2 weeks in a row you didn't say it. I was like, it's done. It's gone. What is happening?
and then back to Cyberpunk again. I think it's our thing. I think it's our goal now to actually mention Cyberpunk. It has to be mentioned every episode now. at least for this rest of this year, I think we at least need to, or at least like this whole. I don't know. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
That's another like 30-odd weeks of Cyberpunk.
It's gonna happen. Like, well, was it? Did we talk about the news where they did they're fixating the shift of the teams now, where the team's working on DLC. So that was the latest bit of news where the teams are working on DLC now. I think we did that last week.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think
it's 3 weeks.
they put a new new patches out. They got a new patch out to fix more bugs.
Yeah, it was like what last week.
Let's see if there's anything. Is there anything new? Well, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look for anything new. So, Juddy, what have you had anything shitty happen through the year?
Yeah, I did. So one morning, as we live in Australia and kangaroos are a pain in the ass, I was driving to work and one decided he'd wanted to make love with the front of my car. So that was excellent. So that was a good thing to happen at 4:30 in the morning.
Was it a big grey or?
It was actually a medium-sized kangaroo, but I was driving along this section of road where, like, as a P-plater, I drove this road day in, day out, just like, going to see mates and that. Never seen them ever. Anyway, this one morning I'm driving along, and the worst bit is I wasn't on my phone, wasn't anything, and I'm pretty bad on my phone, I'll admit that, but it was literally hopping down the center of the road, where my headlights crossed over. He was in like the dark patch.
Oh,
and at the last second, I seen him. I couldn't even brake, and he's done this like little hop down, and he's just jumped straight into the headlight.
Oh, he's like he must be like further on coming. He's coming at me, going, "You want to go, mate? You want to go, mate? You want to go, mate?
Like, you want some?" And then he like ducked down, smashed into the headlight, and pushed the guard back and everything. So I dragged him off the road. And, when I got out of the car, it made like a real loud noise. I was like, "Oh, that's weird." So I go to get back in the car, and the guard pushed into the door. I couldn't open it. I opened like this far, like squeezed in the door. Get back in. I'm all pissed off driving to work. That ruined my year, that's for sure.
So we need some of Jim's good vibes.
Yeah, but
he's lucky. I think maybe it's just Tasmania.
What do you think? I've had nothing that like.
I nearly would have been like that until the kangaroo. Like I couldn't think of anything. When you sent it, I was like, I haven't had anything that bad.
There's gotta be something. At least something that's
kangaroo.
Yeah, so someone's gonna have something that's like pissed them off. Well, I mean, I guess Joms is Cyberpunk. He's disappointed that he was like, God damn it, Cyberpunk could have been better.
I was excited for fucking nearly 10 years for that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, buddy, were. So
coming back, I did find latest news for Cyberpunk.
Oh.
So there always seems to be something every week for Cyberpunk. So this week's Cyberpunk news is spoils for CDPR. So 5 execs split $28 million.
Oh yeah, that.
And then 865 workers split $29.8 million. So
that's not bad though.
Not too bad. So it shows they're making a fair bit of money. They make less,
6 months.
So they've made a fair cop of money still.
Yeah, well, the thing was, after all the refunds, they still made a profit. So.
Well, what was that? What did I say?
Really, probably tripled it.
What was that work out to then? Calculator. What did it say?
I bet they made like 50-odd million from that.
See, I didn't even bother a refund. Like, it's gonna get better.
Divide that by how many did it say that was? 800.
I finished it, so I can complain about it.
Yeah, well, see, I was playing a mission on stream, and Stacey's trying to help me with the mission, and she's like, "You've got to grab the sword. It's the one where you like run out of that bloke's apartment, and you run up to the roof, and the helicopter's on the roof, and you can grab that sword." Yeah. She's like, "You got to grab the sword. You got to grab the sword." And I was like, "The sword's not here." I just literally like walk up where the sword was. She's like, "It's right there." I'm like, "It's not here." So that was a pain in the ass, and I had no ammo, so I just literally had to punch people. And
oh god. Well, okay, so that's the thing.
That's at the start of the game. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like right at the start. That's the only trouble I had with the game.
So my first finish. So I played the game and I was like, I know I can, because I knew I could replay because Jim told me you could replay the endings, and I was like, I'm just going with it. I was like, fuck it, what do I do for an ending? I mean, how far have you gone through? I mean, it's been long now, but I'm spoiling shit.
Yeah, no, you can spoil it. It's fine, but I'm only like halfway through, but I haven't played it.
Basically, there's a whole bunch of endings at the end. My first ending I chose.
Spoilers, really.
When I finally got to the end, I don't know why I went with it, but I was just like, I did everything to the whole game, and my final choice at the end was commit suicide. I did all this shit to try and live and survive the whole way game, because you're like, I need to survive, I need to get Johnny out of my head, I need to do this, I'm gonna fight this, nothing can happen, and it's like, get to them, fuck it, I'm gonna kill myself, boom. It's just like, what's the point? What's the point of doing all that work just to end it?
Well,
like...
we know how Dale felt.
And then I'm like, okay, go back to home, and then do that proper thing, the one I wanted to choose, and yeah. So I was like,
the ending's majorly underwhelming.
Pretty basic. Well, when you go to fight Adam Smasher again, like when you first see him, because you're in the perspective of the mission, he seems so big. And then when you finally meet him, I met him. When I met him, he was just like a little bit taller. I'm like, oh, I remember you being a little bit more bulkier and meaner looking. And I was like,
we were further away. Like we were in that
the mission where you place that chick.
And he's like way over the room, so he looks larger.
Well, he walks past you and he goes into the elevator and he seems massive.
Oh yeah.
And he like gets in, he like kind of like ducks under to get into the elevator a little bit, like he was bulky.
Also, that chick's probably short.
Well, that's what it ended up being, because when I met him later in the game, my character was like, here's Smash and here's my character just a little bit. Yeah. And I was just like, but I spent like the whole time like they're trying to shoot, I couldn't do it, so I just punched him. I was like, and I killed him punching him. I was like, douche. Yeah, I just bailed on him. I was like, you want to go? Punch. And he's trying to shoot me. I'm just like, no, it's not gonna work. And I'm like tanking him with my fists. I was like, okay, this is gonna work. I'm like, this was pretty easy. And he's like down and things like, oh, and he's like bleeding out. I'm like, sword. I was like, oh, and just sliced him. I was like,
couldn't you leave him there though?
Hey,
couldn't you actually leave him there?
You could actually leave him and let him bleed out or whatever happened. But I was like, not today. And just
I wonder if you left him, is he back for the DLC?
Well, I mean, even if you were to slice him, the way that half these things go, like you can basically come back from most things. So.
That's what I don't like about it. There's
feels
no
like
choice at all, really.
Yeah.
One thing to blow my brain with it is you could change the peen size of the bloke and how much pubic hair he had and stuff, but you don't even use it.
No, it's just there and he ducks away.
Yeah.
Well, there was like a lot of those jokes are going around because things were glitching, and I don't know how, like, some people had characters where, like, their dicks were coming through their clothes and stuff. I had one character where her hair would just be, or her boobs were sticking out of her outfit, but a lot of the memes were going around, especially with TikTok, where this one dude was, like, making memes pretending to be Johnny Silverhand, if you remember those, Jim. Yeah. Those, you might have seen them too, Jody, I don't know if you saw them around TikTok. But he always make jokes, and one of them was, like, Johnny Silverhand's like they're shooting and his dick just translucens through his pants. He's like, oh no, my dick's hanging out. Oh crap, I gotta put my dick away, but I can't. He's like got the guns and he shoots like, I can't put my dick away. What am I supposed to do? I was like, fuck. Imagine if that happened. Like it might have happened to some people. Maybe some people running around, Johnny's dick just jumped out.
Maybe most people didn't see it because they didn't look down.
Like, who knows? But imagine those scenes, because that scene where at one point, like, imagine if, you know, when he pulls the seat and you're, like, in the corner in the apartment, he, like, pulls the chair up. Imagine if he just pulled the chair up and he's, like, bow legs in front of it and his dick's just hanging out. Like, while you're, like, sitting on the seat backwards. That would have been hilarious if dick just translates through the pants. I was like, oh, that would be funny. But, there was some moments.
Some of the glitches, really. Like, one of them, I was, like, jumping from a vending machine to a ledge, and, like, he'd jump and grab onto the ledge, and it was just, like, put me on the other side of the footpath, on the other side of the road.
The best moment I ever had with Cyberpunk was because it's the first playthrough and the tutorials, like when thinking information stuff pops up, going, oh, this is this, this is this, you know, oh, this is what this does, you know, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Like if you shoot someone, you're going to get alerted to the police. And I recorded it, and that one playthrough, I'm driving around a corner, drifting it locked up around the corner, just as I collide, and that's just before I collided with someone, goes, if you do something dangerous, police are alerted. And what was happening when it freeze frame, I'd clipped a police car rear-ended it, and it popped up going, when you're doing a bad action, police are getting alerted, and then it closed, and there's a police car, and the cops gotten out the car going, what the fuck going on here? And I rear-ended it just as it done it. I was like, for fuck's sake. It was a great joke. I was like, that's just fucking hilarious. Like, oh. I was like, out of all situations, just drift around a corner, collide with the rear end of a cop car, and just be like, warrant, warrant, this is what happens when you get wanted and all this shit. It's like, so many times I get wanted or something like that, but the cops would never, like, show up sometimes, and then they would at, like, weird spots.
I think if you shoot a civilian by accident, they don't get alerted that bad.
Oh, it gets
Like,
weird.
if you're in a gunfight with bad guys, I've shot civilians and nothing's happened.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Well,
it's
like
weird.
a time where I was like, there was like a civilian being held up by these thugs, and I was like, I'll save him, and I come running in with my sword to like save him and take him out. The guy ducks, and then the civilian that was crouched stands up, and I decapitate her. I was like, I'll save you, and like, oh, I'm gonna slice the guy. He steps back, and she stands up, freaked out, and slices her, and I'm like, oh shit, Jesus, like there, split out the mechanic, like the ooze, whatever it is that. I was like, oh my god, I was supposed to save you. Why did you stand up? Like, the game's very interesting at the start, and then once you go through it, it does free up a lot more.
No, the AI is so bad.
Oh, well, like, yeah, some we'd cut their heads off and they'd walk around still without a head on, or they'd hover T-post, asserting their dominancy around the map. Like, there's a lot.
I never had the T-pose thing. I'd never had
I've seen it once, but...
If that game come out finished and, like, perfect... It would have just blown up. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even now, it's still a good game, but like, it's
fun, but not what they hyped
it up to be. Yeah,
it's a lot different.
Like, I liked it, but it wasn't Witcher level. Like, it wasn't nowhere near that.
No. But see, I'm not much of a campaign player either, so it sort of didn't really bother me too much. So the only campaigns I've ever like really stuck to that like I'd play again is the Red Dead campaign.
Yeah. That was so good.
Well, I've done one, I don't know how many times, but I've only done two once because it was so bloody long.
It was like 60, 70 hours.
Yeah. So good, though.
And the whole intro into the game itself was like a massive, like 10-hour, 15-hour, like whatever it was, just for the prologue, or like it's like a fair chunk. Oh, it was a fair chunk. I don't know. It took me ages to get. It's like Red Dead Redemption. I was like, oh my god, how long did this game go for? But just for the prologue, I'm like, fuck me. But Cyberpunk was a bit like that as well, almost.
I do want to replay that.
Cyberpunk had a really long prologue.
But
not really. You can finish it in like 15, 20 minutes.
Prologue depends on how you do it.
Fucking around too much.
Interacting with everything.
Pretty quick somehow.
Most games, when I always play a game, first off, I interact with everything. Does this work? Does this work? Does this do something? Does this do something? And I interact with everything. So
yeah. Well, because like Cyberpunk on PC, like you're always just pressing the button. It's just like coming up, and you're just like, hurry up! I just want to play already. But,
that's crazy.
It's done now. I guess.
mean, I think I'm skipping all the. So I'm doing the second playthrough as a corp, just to get the one damn trophy.
Yeah.
And I'm skipping every bit of dialogue.
Trying to get to that point.
Just to get that. I can't see what it is. It's not really spoilers, but I don't care.
Right, to get that certain ending? Is it trying to get that certain ending?
Yeah, when you save Takamura, that you had no idea either.
Save Takashi 69, yeah.
Kakashi.
Kakashi 69. Takashi 69.
He will be saving eventually.
I googled it. I'm like, why can't I get this third ending? I'm like, I replayed it so many times.
Yeah, because you got to do a different.
Takamura.
Actually, off topic, but
that's right.
I did want to mention something.
Mm.
I was talking to Jim about this last night, and he had a viewer in his stream that was not a fan of this game. Anyway, I saw it when I got home this morning. Listed.
What was it?
So I played it today. It at this current point in time is my favorite shooter at this time.
What are you playing?
Awesome. Like on PC, it might be different on console, but enlisted, it is so.
Hindu was on Xbox, I think he said.
Yeah, he said it was on Xbox, and it was pretty shitty. But on PC, it was so good. Like I played the D-Day map where like you come in on the beach and the enemy's like shooting down on you. And I'm just like, is this like, is it online or not? I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh shit, it is online. I'm like, they've got the advantage. I'm like, running on the beach.
I was like, you were actually playing other players, were you?
Yeah, so like when you spawn in, you got a squad of 4. So they're AIs, but they'll follow sort of wherever you go. Okay. And then when that player dies, you'll go to the next person and so on.
Okay.
And I was just like running along the beach, get shot. And I was like, it's kind of like real life. Like this is what happened to him. But I was like, how am I going to get up to like get the advantage to even shoot any of them? So I'm like crouching behind all these like rocks and shit, just waiting for him to stop shooting for a second.
To reload and
Sprint to the next rock and like hide behind it.
Well, that's what I would say. If you remember, was it World War Two? Call
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Like that's what you had to do in that mission on the beach for the same
That
thing.
was so hard.
It was so-
veteran.
It's so hard because they're trying to run through that, and the amount of times you're in the open, you die instantly. Boom, you get shot. Like I was like, God damn it.
Like, and the trench area. My God. And the tanks. Look, the trench and the tanks.
It took me so long because the amount of times I played that, it's just got through it so many times.
The maps are huge. It's free to play, and
So
it's awesome.
What was it called again?
Enlisted.
I might
Free
look
to
at downloading that.
Yeah, Hinder was like, "Don't touch it." No, Jody's like, "What?"
Yeah, what was he playing?
Yeah,
Was he playing on Xbox? Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently Xbox is not so good, but PC like it's 15 gig. That's all it
Oh,
took.
God dang it, Jody.
I'm downloading
And I was
that. We're
like,
gonna
I am
download
not
that.
expecting much from
I'm getting
this.
that. I'm getting it.
Are we
So
gonna?
good.
We
The
gonna
only
jam some of that?
problem
Maybe.
I've found is you'll because like it's all old bolt action rifles and that, and say you'll turn a corner and there'll be an enemy like shooting. So you shoot him and it's one shot kill, and like above the shoulders it's just one shot. So it's halfway like across the chest, that'll kill him first shot. But if you get him below that, it'll just drop him, and then you got to shoot him again. You'll run up and you'll go to scroll your mouse to swap to your secondary, which is a knife, and you'll scroll and it'll just like put his hands down, put the rifle back up. You're like still pulling the bolt back every time, and I'm just like, no, even as someone else is coming, and you're just like,
Button with the but.
it's awesome shooter. Like I'll be playing it after this. It's
Yeah, no, I'll have to download. I think we might play that tonight. I might actually stay up and play that.
You've literally got nothing to lose. It's free to play, and it's awesome.
Right?
Well, that was
so fun.
I downloaded the beta to Naraka Blade Point, which was basically a battle royale, like a Japanese. Is it Japanese Chinese? I can't. Culture, history, kind of like twist battle royale. Basically, it's just that style, and I was playing that for the beta, and it was insane. I was like, okay, I'm kind of like over a bit of new battle royales, but like to have how this was, I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. Like the gunplay and skills, yeah, because you use a lot of swords. So you've got your samurai sword, your katanas, long swords, great swords. Great swords are great because it kind of feels like I'm playing Monster Hunter, because you carry on your back and you pull it out, you go shing, and the blade just goes whoosh, locks out, and you're just like you're like two-handed massive blade that's bigger than you, and you're like, and you're like the skinniest chick, and she's got this giant blade, and she's just like swing.
Around, no worries.
Yeah, it's just like shoom. It's like god damn. I was like fuck, but yeah,
What's
just
that?
That was on PC, so that they had the alpha or early stage alpha beta, whatever it was. It's on hold at the moment till whenever they get around to another release. But I was like, I played it for a couple of days. I was like, I want to play more of it. Why did you tease me with this? And it had the weird part was it had like a 1,000 level battle pass. And I was just like, why do I need 1,000 tiers? Yeah, like I don't know if I don't.
You go through.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I was like, is it just for the beta? Because you actually unlocked like every third tier was a coin currency for in game, which was 500. And if you got that far through, you could actually buy basically everything in the game with in-game currency. I was like, you didn't even have to buy when I joined up, I signed in. They gave me at least 3 battle pass worths of credit. So I could have bought the Battle Pass 3. So I'm hoping if it stays, if I still keep that credit, it'd be great. Because I'm like, sweet, I'll buy the Battle Pass when I sign up. And then they gave me like 80,000 coins to spend on the store, which I didn't spend any. Well, I spent a little bit. But I was just like, they give you so much to like entice you to come into the game and experience. I was like, damn, like hopefully I had this when it comes out, because I'll be like buying the pass straight up, spending all the currency. I'm like, this is fucking sick.
Normally with like the betas and that, they'll only give you certain things that you can buy in the pass.
Yeah.
So you can't
But they had basically, it was basically laid out like Apex, because it's 3-player squads. And then you had your like kind of outfits, kind of like how Apex has theirs, where you've got your different outfits and your different tiers, like coloured tiers, and you can spend more on that. And then there's you had the 6 characters that were already unlocked to players, which of course I introduced more down the track. And it's just skins, some equipment, like outfit stuff that you already kind of had unlocked you could wear and stuff. But I was like, okay, so it's just a bit of Apex, bit of Overwatch, because you had like different kind of ult abilities, or more like, I mean, Apex does kind of have ult abilities, but it was a bit different. Like, one of the characters turned into, like, this giant, six-armed, like, Azura-looking motherfucker. He's just like, he's like this guy running, he's like, "Hoo!" And he's like, "Ah!" And he's like this giant running around. And you just swing all 6 arms, just whacking on everything around you. You're like, this is a little bit OP, but it's kind of badass. And you can, like, grab and pick people up and throw them. And you're like, "Ah!" It's like, fuck's sake, this is ridiculous. And then there's another guy who's just like, tornado! He just throws a tornado. And it's like, okay. It's like, this dude... Yeah, he just like charged up this thing, he's like, "Oh!" And then the map had basically like Shenron appear over the map and like summon down beams of like electricity. I was like, fuck me. So I was like, it's interesting what they're gonna do with it. I'm like, oh, I'm keen, but at least it is out. So I'm like, oh, my.
Should even play it.
I know. Ah, so good, so good.
Another one I was when I was on the podcast last. Actually, I mentioned it, which was Beam and G Drive,
Yes.
simulation game. I was playing the multiplayer to that the other day. And it's actually so cool. Like,
Still gotta get that.
One of the tracks I was playing was just like an Australian drag racing strip. I was, like, drag racing people, and I was like going like 200 kilometers an hour, and then like someone would come the other way, and you just collide, and like because the crash physics are so damn good, you just end up in like this big ball of
Fused together.
rubbled together. Yeah, it was actually really good, but it's separate to itself again. It's like 5M to the GTA side of things. You know, they have the 5M servers.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing. Like, it's got its own launcher and that sort of stuff. So you just got to own a copy of the game and then you download it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Because the other night you're like, John, it's got multiplayer.
Because it was only recently been added. I think it was to the multiplayer. I don't think it was that long ago.
I think it's been out for
It's been in beta. I think there was beta because I had seen people talk about multiplayer, but it was in early stages. But now I think it's now official, like release. I think it is. Like it's
it is
solid
because they've got their own Discord and everything. Like the developers have like got a separate one to their Beam and G Drive one. So
well, bouncing around here. What have we got? I got a little bit of news. Might as well talk about. Which I was surprised for this one. Which the way that things have been going for Fortnite. I was a bit shocked to read this. So the latest crew pass that they're giving out actually comes now with Save the World. Which I was like, oh, okay, like that I get and that's what I'm assuming a lot of people do because I pay for the crew pass, and I'm actually surprised, like because it's like not even $20 for the crew pass a month, and you basically buy this. This is the best time to buy it. You get access to your battle pass, you get Save the World, you get skin, and you get 1,000 V-Bucks. I was like, for under $20, I'm like, fuck, that's really good. Not sponsored by Fortnite. Fortnite, give us a sponsorship. I'm happy to plug it every time, even though we already do.
I mean, I'll plug it now. I'll become a goat.
I know, and Jim's been finally playing Fortnite. He plays a lot of it now.
I won't even pick on Fortnite because when it came out, I smashed it and I loved it, but I sort of fell away from it, I think, when it started getting real hype by like 12-year-old kids. But
yeah.
Oh, I love going to the lobby sometimes on stream and just staring at the kids that are on. Like,
it is. And for that time, it blew up, made millions.
But so I'm thinking if this gains traction and more users start playing Save the World again, maybe they might get back on board of it. Fingers crossed. Because they basically said, like, last year, whatever it was, that they basically dropped Save the World. They were done with it, even though the game wasn't finished. They're like, oh, we're moving away from that. Maybe they might come back to it if they get a lot of people playing it again.
They're concentrating on the story of the Battle Royale, really. Like,
they're focusing more on that now.
Thing there that
the thing, all that was going on was they started crossing the story from Save the World and the Battle Royale. Like, they started explaining the story between the two. But then they've kind of stepped away from that story and then doing more of the Battle Royale story. It's like, well, you're going to come back to the Save the World story that, like, kind of started all this? Like, go back to the
who's going to work? They stop the Battle Royale part and then just Save the World? Or...
I mean, they could hire someone else to work on that if they wanted to.
Do an Activision.
Do an Activision and just take a company. Second company they've taken now from a different...
I'm pissed about that. We're not going to get a new Crash or nothing because...
Not for any time soon, anyway.
Probably ever again, unless someone else.
You'd be lucky to even get one. But...
Well, that's exactly it. So I did some reading into it yesterday when I was in bed doing some flick through. So basically what they go is... What is your... Watch it! I just heard a giggle. I was like, what?
I heard Was it on Juddy's end or
You
was
wanna-
it a loud noise?
Something in the background.
Noise. I didn't me moving my leg because it was like my arm.
It was like,
Yeah, I heard like the noises going and then laughing. It's like, what the fuck? Like a weird noise, circus noise or something. I don't know.
yeah, it was weird.
But,
Before you get away from Fortnite, you might be able to tell me is apparently that Charlie D'Amelio, I think it is, she's got her own skin in Fortnite from TikTok. She's a big American TikToker.
What's she go by? Does she go by any other names?
Nah, I think it's Charlie D'Amelio or something like that. I was like, I can't believe they've given her own Fortnite.
I think she got an
That's
emote.
what Neymar. He plays soccer, not Fortnite.
I know,
Yeah.
they gave him like a super like alternate like leopard whatever.
A Power Ranger skin.
I seen it on Facebook, but I didn't look into it. I'm like,
Oh,
surely-
it's the emote. It's the dance. I think they got it.
it's the TikTok
The renegade dance. Yeah, I think it's the dance emote, but which is getting. That's the thing too. With a lot of those are under fire by a lot of different people because like something's out like, oh, this person's got a TikTok dance and they're getting their emote in Fortnite, and then someone's like, well, actually, they didn't actually make the dance. Someone else did the dance, and then that didn't take off, but this person took off with it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that going on. It's just like, fuck. It's like they need to credit the right people because now these things are happening. And it's just like, fuck. Like then there's like that one
I
kid
don't think they do research. They just grab it and.
Well, there was like that contest they had that contest to like get your enter the competition, do a dance, and get your dance in the game. And there's that kid that did that Orange Justice dance. He got his dance in the game, but then they didn't credit him for it, even though the whole point of the contest was to put you into the game, get credit, and you're going to get something from it. And then his parents decided to sue Epic for it and stuff like that. And it's just like
rightfully they should.
Yeah, and there's a lot of crazy shit going on with that. So,
Yeah.
so there's heaps of people that get stuff now. So it's just getting crazy the amount of different skins they're doing. Neymar definitely doesn't make sense. I told Jim about that the other day when they had the early reveal from Neymar. It's just like I was like not being racist or anything, but he's like Spanish, he's like Brazilian or something like that. I think he's a Brazilian soccer player, and basically they had an early teaser. They basically gave him the experience, and got him to have the pass, and he uploaded a video to his channel or to YouTube saying the day before. It was like Twitter saying the day before, and it's just like teasing off the video, but he's speaking Spanish. It's just like great to do a promo to everyone that plays Fortnite, but like you've got this guy going, it's like how I don't understand a single fucking thing. Like, how are you supposed to promote something when, majority of the in the world speaks English primarily? Like, that's basically the first language is English. Like, if you're gonna promote something, promote it properly, not just let this dude go record this, kind of put it out early, and then have this dude speak in Brazil. I know, like, I guess the second biggest market for Fortnite is Brazilian market. So I guess that's maybe why they put Neymar on it, because that's why the other guy, what's his name, Greg and G, like the Greg and G guy, he's another Twitch streamer, but he's a Brazilian Twitch streamer, and he's like big on Twitch. But then you have his skin, which this dude looks beefy and he has a six-pack, but the guy in real life is this scrawny, like slightly chubby dude. He looks nothing like his character at all. It's like, what the fuck? At least you've got like laser beam that's like in the tradie outfit that looks basically like himself, and then you've got Ninja, which like looks like Ninja but doesn't dress like Ninja. I was like,
yeah, that's a good point, actually.
like his body is a little bit different. He's got his face, Ninja's face, but the only one that's really exact is Laserbeam. It's spot on. I was like, okay, at least that works.
Fruit and Neymar, pretty much.
Yeah,
Them three.
It's just like, oh, what are they doing?
But even then, he gets a Power Ranger suit. Why?
Yeah, like the weird Panther Power Ranger suit thing. It's like, what's the explanation behind this? They made like soccer players are super badass in the trailer because they had him they had Fortnite characters like huddled behind a log going, oh, we're under fire kind of thing. They're trying to shoot and they couldn't. Neymar comes racing up in the car, locks it up, gets out. He's like, oh, grenade comes at him. He jumps over the thing and kicks the grenade. He's like, oh, save the day. Perfectly kicks the grenade back through the hole, blows up the tower that everyone's camped in. He's like, I got this. Yeah. And he's like, and they're like, oh my god, thank you for saving us. Like, come on. Like, what the fuck?
What's his glider? Like,
some weird thing. He's got like this weird, but it's like definitely like Power. Yeah, he's got a glider. But it's basically like you say, it's like a very Power Ranger-esque.
Fucking soccer trophy or something.
No, that goes on the back, but it's like a pointy kind of weird. It's like I was gonna say Transformers for a second there. It's some Power Ranger shit.
Oh my god, Optimus.
So yeah, it's a bit whack.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No sense.
Well,
I mean,
they're trying to introduce this, and they've got the whole crossover.
Player, so.
Well, that's exactly it. They got Mr. Ketchup, fucking Donald Mustard. But like he's out here trying to do comic crossovers with like Batman. They're trying to tie the lore in with Batman's like What the fuck are they doing?
Because just think, you got Kratos fighting off against Neymar.
With Batman that has amnesia.
Next big cinema hit.
Master Queef with fucking...
Right? You got Master Chief and Batman. Like, have you noticed no one uses them skins?
Yeah, well, it's because you got to buy the comic book. You got to buy the comic book to get the code for Harley Quinn.
Batman, a lot of people had them, but they're not using them.
Yeah, and Batman hasn't been released yet till the final issue, and there might be one popping up in between.
Yeah, but still, like, even the Kratos, no one using Kratos.
Yeah.
No one using
I know what you mean. Yeah. They're only on and off.
People just get out.
What it seems to be, what I've noticed is people when that event comes out, like that battle pass comes out within that window. It's like that ratio meme. It's like this season, those skins only. So
yeah.
It's like, so when it's that season, people will use those skins for that season, like the Marvel skins. They were big through the Marvel event. Once that event ended, the new season started, which was the crossover stuff. Then those skins happened. Marvel was forgotten. Now that crossover event's kind of forgotten. It's these season skins.
So like, there's no point getting them if you're not going to keep using them.
Like I jump around them every now and then, so I'll go back and use throwback, and I try and find the skin that no one really uses.
That recently.
So I'm trying to find characters that people don't use, so that I kind of want to get a skin that I can use that no one else uses, so that people know it's me. So when I enter the battlefield, it's like, oh shit, it's Pickle. Like, because that's like my mate Smurf. He had a certain skin, and for playing Hyperscape, and people knew who it was when he jumped into the field. People go. Like, people would say in the chats, like, and they know to come to his stream going, it's Smurf, what are you doing? Get out of my game! Like, oh, don't fuck me up! Because he was pretty sweaty at Hyperscape. So, like, there was a few people that knew each other because they had set skins. It was kind of written rule that certain streamers would use a certain skin on that game and they were easily identified, so... It's interesting, so, I don't know.
It's going to be Aloy, so...
Aloy. But, back to that Activision thing. But yeah, so Toys for Bob basically has moved their projects to working on Call of Duty Warzone, which is like out of all things, like
just
working
COD in general. I think that they're going to help with the new games,
Warzone.
Well,
reading into it, primarily at this stage, it's just Warzone. That's all they're working on is Warzone.
Yeah, you know they're going to do, right?
But I was gonna... that they're going to get the new COD done in time this year.
So I think what they're doing is they're going to get them to work on Warzone.
Sledgehammer, they got booted off. Cold War. Like.
Mostly, well, they try to work on Warzone. That's the problem. They're putting too much focus on Warzone. Mostly got Toys for Bob doing Warzone, so they go, okay, well, you guys work on that for us. We're going to work on the next game. You keep running that because the games are done story-wise for everything else. You've already got Cold War. Modern Warfare's God knows how many years? 2 years old now? 2 years?
2, yeah.
Yeah, so Cold War's
about Modern Warfare next year, Modern Warfare 2.
And Warzone still, and then the thing, the point is the Warzone will carry on to the next game again. Warzone they're trying to keep as a solid game that keeps going, which Warzone kind of sucks.
Just with Modern Warfare and then the next one, like.
And that's the thing, because Battle Royales, it's trying to staple itself as its own game now, being Warzone is its own game.
Makes sense. Just don't include Cold War in there.
But the fact they've got Toys for Bob
Warfare doesn't exist anymore on PC. Like when you go to play, it's Call of Duty Warzone, and then you can play multiplayer
and the story. Yeah,
it's just
it's so stupid. And that's like that on the Xbox as well. When you load up, when you look at the logos, it's basically Call of Duty Warzone, and then it's like basically Call of Duty Cold War, but Warzone's Modern Warfare. It's fucking stupid. It's just like,
what the hell? I spent all this money on advertising and shit, and now you've just literally gone and thrown Modern Warfare.
But then it's crossed them together, and then you can swap from one game to another game, and it's. I really think what they need to do is if they're going to keep Warzone separate from the game itself, so it's not in its launcher, and make it a separate game, because I had this discussion a while back. I think you might have remembered it, Juddy. The discussion with some of the MK. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
I had a discussion with both Lance and Stace about it. They're like, it's a game. I'm like, no, it's a game mode. Like, like, I had this strong discussion. Like, no, it's a game mode. It's because it exists within those games. It's a game mode. Like, it was advertised.
Come out as a game.
Now it should be like just separate it all together. If they take it out of the menus, it's a game mode. Like it should just be a game now. Like take it out of the games. Even if you do the next Modern Warfare, don't have it in its launcher. Just have Warzone as its own launcher, its own files. Because that's why Call of Duty is so large as well. Is because it's crossing the save files all over, so everything chunks up and gets fat.
Yeah, because I showed you my Cold War, 203 gig.
Because it uses file still to transfer across, and it's just like, but Warzone is like 100 gig. Like Warzone's like 90 to 100 gig just alone. Then you got Modern Warfare, which is like another 100 gig, and Cold War is like 150, but then it uses 50 because it's extra to relate to Warzone. It's like it's fucking broken. It's not compressed and optimized properly, so it's all broken. If you can separate that, leave Warzone by itself. Have Modern Warfare like the next Modern Warfare 2, whatever they're doing with that, come out, and not have anything to do with Warzone. Like, just do single player and do the multiplayer. Keep that separate. Leave that separate as its own game. Then we'll have no problems. I reckon you'll have a nice compressed game.
It's going to feed straight into Warzone.
Although they will try and plug it so you can easily jump to it.
Infinity Ward made Warzone pretty much. Like, that was with Modern Warfare.
They need it, and the thing is, like they've done with Cold War, it's like a launcher, but the problem is because you've got basically two different type of battle passes running. You've got the one that works for, and that's the weird part too. This is something new that we've seen. Is you buy the one battle pass, but there's two different ones for both Cold War and Modern Warfare. So you buy the one for Warzone, but you look at it and it has different skins you unlock for the multiplayers. But then the Warzone one's the exact same. It's really fucking weird and different, and I think that's the big problem is. They need to separate it, but like kind of, it's just not separated properly.
They haven't thought it through.
No,
like at all.
No. They're trying to do stuff, and it's just not
Activision
working.
just wants all the fucking money, bro.
But this year it will be 16 years that they'll break the like streak of bringing out a new COD every year, which they're worried about. I was like, just give it a break. Like,
you've got Warzone, especially if you
2 to 3 years.
But especially if you've got like Warzone consisting wanting to last for the next so many years, like they want to keep that active. Make that issue big release, like
online, Modern Warfare 2 online.
Yeah.
So why bring out a new COD this year?
If you're gonna do anything big, like bring back the Blackout map in Warzone. Do something like that then. Like do something big like that. Then you can go, okay, we don't have any games coming out, but do something big by going, here's a big update and do like another map. You know.
Do you think they could do the Blackout map?
They could redo it.
Because that was made in the Black Ops 4 engine when Warzone's in the new engine.
Yeah, but they can easily replicate a whole...
They have to remake the whole map.
They can do that. Like, that's something they can
actually
work on.
Cartoony, I guess.
Alcatraz, they remade...
yeah, that's from Blackout.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's literally the same map, but it's just a new... It's less cartoonish.
But that was my joke I was going to go to, having toys for Bob, is we look at their track record of a lot of games they make. Is Warzone going to become the new Fortnite? And we're going to start seeing weird... Look, because we've already kind of had weird glimpses to some of the skins we've had for guns and weapons and stuff. We're going to start seeing like weird anime skins and shit. Like,
yeah, they're going to run out. You can only do like soldiers.
Like that's what I mean. Like the last one we had a glimpse of, like the chick looks like a female Sub-Zero. Like, what are they doing here?
Yep, and you can get bullets at like when they're sort of like tracer rounds, but they shoot like a lightning bolt. Like it's getting to that point.
Novelty,
yeah, it's blowing out.
They get the noveltiness from like the zombies, like because zombies is real novelty. That has all the crazy.
Because that's in the Warzone now. Zombies, so.
And I think they're trying to, and that's where Blackout had zombies in the map as well for Blackout.
Yeah, that was an
and now
thing, though.
we've had they've got zombies now because was it the nuclear bomb happened in the last event? I think it was. They had the big nuke went off, and now zombies appeared because the nuke radiation and stuff. And I don't know, it's getting weird. I haven't played it yet.
I think if you die in the radiation now, you turn into a zombie. But if you die by getting shot, you can you go to the gulag. I think it's all weird. I haven't played it for ages.
That's weird. But I mean, they're trying to be different and fresh, but it's just getting whacked.
But they're using zombies as a scapegoat for everything now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, zombies.
Have you played Outbreak?
No, I haven't.
Which is virtually zombies, but it's open world.
Okay.
It is awesome. Like it's open world, so you just run around it's like the Warzone map, but you just run around. You can have a bunch of weapons and everything still. And there's certain tasks you do. Like one of them is you got to lead a robot to the next point, and it'll go to exfil, but it can't, and then it blasts across the other side of the map, and you got to chase it.
It's already getting novelty. It's already getting Fortnite.
Yeah, and then it'll go again, and then you'll go to a different map. It'll transport you to a different map, and then there's 3 different maps. It's actually pretty good, but it's hard.
It's not COD.
Well,
it's not COD zombie.
But related to the Activision stuff, here's a funny article I saw. It's again from shitty ass Kotaku. Kotaku's been pretty shitty lately with all that stuff. It's been pretty meme, but everyone's starting to unfollow Kotaku because they've just been going downhill for the past year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, probably the last 10.
Yeah. Oh, they used to be fairly okay back in the day, but they've a lot more recently. Has been more noticeably shit. But it was a funny article I came across, and I read into it, and I was like, okay, this is something that's legit's going on. But it just made me laugh at the fact that was it Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, or whatever his name is, that apparently the article goes on about that he voluntarily halves his pay to I don't know, he's like, oh, I'm gonna not earn so much just so it makes everything flow better. It's like
it doesn't work like that.
It's like you're being a knobhead either way, like I'm voluntarily halve my pay. People appreciate me.
Workload.
I don't reckon he volunteered that.
Nah.
Oh.
I can't see it happening.
I reckon the people above him would have just said, "You're taking a pay cut, bruh."
Well, yeah, exactly, because you have, like, what's his name, who left Blizzard, basically, which is, again, Activision Blizzard. It's still the same company, because they're together. We already see one of the CEOs, or whatever it was, leave.
Yeah, that was the director of what? Overwatch 2?
Yeah.
So that game's probably in limbo now.
That's going on there. Then we've already recently seen them absolve Vicarious Visions. Like, they actually absolved Vicarious Visions. Like, the company basically doesn't exist anymore.
Fucking Diablo.
They put him to work in Diablo, so the chick who ran that has now got promoted to being one of the present runners or managers. Like, she's doing great.
We have to just boycott him, bro.
Like, and then you got them now taking Toys for Bob, which, like, Toys for Bob is apparently still a company. They're still labeled and still, because they did work. If you look at, like, the credits and stuff, they did work on Cold War and stuff. Their credit does come up in that. Which is interesting.
Yeah, but they weren't merged with them though. They were just...
So at this stage, from what I was reading, going back to that, they're still the same spot. They're still like their own company. They're not fully merged yet. So depending on what happens,
working on Warzone, there'll be no time for a Crash or Spyro.
Well, that's exactly it. So I guess at the same time they're going, maybe they don't have it. Well, that's the thing. Maybe they don't have any project ideas at the moment. Maybe they're working, going, well, it's not as important. Let's get you guys work on this stuff instead.
Surely they want to Crash 5. Like, people want more Crash.
Well, the thing was though, a lot of people wanted a Crash Bash. But then if that was going to be happening, that would have been done by Vicarious, because they deal with the remakes and stuff. But they've been absolved, so that's been gone.
They did the
so it had gone for
Insane trilogy.
Exactly. So that's
we see Crash on multiple platforms now.
Well, we got Crash 4 came out on all platforms.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it came out Switch very late. It came out later, but that's on the Switch. We did see the Insane Trilogy and Spyro. They've been out on all platforms, so PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. So all those games have come out on multiple platforms, but
it was PlayStation first, though, wasn't it? The Crash.
Yeah, it was PlayStation first.
Yeah, Crash Insane Trilogy did get that early launch, like a week or a month before everyone else did. But it came to Xbox and then Nintendo a little bit later, so it's like the delay slate, same as like we've got now with like the Odyssey games. We've had the weird slate space.
That comes out in July. Soulstorm. Like, we got it so early on,
and you got it free. So
yeah, like I mean, I'm still got it pre-ordered just because I wanted to on disc.
Actually, get the actual copy of it. This is
end of July, I think so.
Here's what?
We bloody got it so early.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. I know, real promotion to get people onto it to play it, get it done and streamed. People have done it, streamed it.
Did you claim yours though?
I couldn't claim it.
Why?
I tried doing it. It goes, you can't claim it. You got to be on. Yeah, you got to be on. You actually got to have a PS5. You had to have a PS5. So log into an account to actually claim it.
So that's the same as the one this month then.
PS5 one's actually stuck to PS5. Like, you actually got to log into your PS5 and claim it.
Jesus.
Because they weren't doing a PS4 version. It was,
I mean, smart thinking. No, people keep buying them.
It's a good little tease, because then I guess because again, not many people have PS5s. You've got not many people have PS5s. Then you got people that are dumb and go, "Oh, I'm not interested in it." It's like, who cares if you're not interested in it? It's a free game. Claim it. Put it to your account, you dickheads. Like, anytime I see a free game I get, I just redeem it. If I'm not going to play it, just claim it to my account. Claim it to my account. Like, it's added there forever. And there's people out there going, "Oh, I wasn't interested." It's like, you fucking dumb. It's a free game. That's like 60, 70 bucks. Like, yeah. It's like, and it's just like, God damn it. But
I've got no games. You got this fucking 100 games just stored there.
Well, that's like me. I've got heaps of games I haven't even played. Still in cases behind me. They're still sealed. I've still got sealed games I haven't even opened.
No, Dad plays Fortnite a lot.
Yeah. I play a lot of Fortnite primarily now.
Yeah, he does play Fortnite a lot.
I'm playing,
Last time I played with Daz, I was like spawning with just a bloody basic skin, and he's like changed into a banana and shit.
That was a while back. Now that was a while back. Jeez.
We have to get Jaddy on Fortnite with us.
Get it back in. Get it back in with us.
Is it cross-platform? It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's say.
I mean, we're on PC anyway, so.
Wow, that's true.
I play primarily PC now.
You guys, because I'm just on PC. I don't even turn my Xbox on for that long. But...
I basically the Xbox is now my son's. Basically, he'll play Fortnite and Minecraft now on it.
Yeah.
So
actually, were you really playing with him the other day?
No, we jumped on there. I had to log him into his account. I had to redeem. I had to go through one of my many games to find a 14-day free trial, which I managed to find. Redeem that. Like, log into my Switch. Redeem, which I had for some reason had another free 7-day trial on my Switch. Log into that. Mount that up on my dock so I could hook it up to my PC. Have that stream, and so we could play together because I had to log in my account. Add the accounts to mine, then it's fucking around. And he's like, I want to play it, dude. I was like, that's what I'm trying to do. Just wait. I'm trying to set it up. And he kept going. I'm like, then we finally got it working. We were playing together, and then I got distracted doing shit because I had to deal with sound like crap. And then I died. He comes at me going, "You dead, dead, dead. You died, you died, you died." I'm like, oh. And I come back, and I'm like, oh, my loot's gone. He goes, yeah, it disappeared. I'm like, I know that. It's not there. And then I'm like getting attacked by a zombie, and I'm like, help me, help me. He turns to me and whacks me, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't hit me, hit the zombie. You know how to do it. And then I was like, God damn it, not helping me. And then he runs around the house, and from the house he has dirt, and he just starts filling up the house with dirt. And I'm like, I'm just trying to make a house for us to hide in, and he's filling it up with dirt. Like, he's laughing, filling it up with dirt. I'm like, gee, bugger, you know what you're doing. He's not silly. No, but I know I'll definitely play with him tomorrow. We'll play maybe some more Minecraft tomorrow or something.
Minecraft. He's
still got to learn a lot for Fortnite. He's slowly getting there, but he definitely has the better understanding for Minecraft.
We just play Minecraft Dungeons, bro.
I know we get back into that again.
There's so many DLCs, I think, now.
Like... Yeah, and there's heaps they've been spitting out for that. Get it on PC. We'll have to do it on PC, or do you want to do it on Xbox again?
Is it on
Game Pass? I think it is. That's the only game that's on Game Pass out of Minecraft. Was Dungeons.
I refuse to
that game was fucking fun.
Yeah.
That's the only Minecraft I'll play, really.
That was good. We were getting into that pretty OP. But here's
all the achievements and quit.
Here's something that I thought was funny that I saw today. So this is a bit of a shock twist. So we've seen how Deadpool... Have you seen this news about Deadpool? Deadpool 3? You haven't seen the tweet? So you know how in the first movie we had Ryan Reynolds make fun trying to get like Hugh Jackman in the film, and he couldn't get it, so he had the little face mask. That's the closest they could get to having Hugh Jackman or Wolverine in the movie, and then he wanted to get him for the second movie, and Hugh Jackman didn't want to have a bar of it. And he'd always been like, "Nah, get off of me, leave me alone," and stuff like that. Well, with Deadpool 3, weirdly enough, we've had a flip around. We've had
Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 3.
We've had a flip around. He's talking. This cop pulls him up. Basically, a cop would have what it's gone. Basically, is the cop spot him and going, "Hey, that's Hugh Jackman. I want to get an autograph." And Hugh Jackman just immediately thought, "Oh, I'm getting a ticket here." And he goes, he thought he was going to get a ticket for some random reason, but he was just wanting an autograph. So he goes, "What do you want to say?" He goes, "What say the thing you said to me." He goes, "Okay, Hugh Jackman needs to have a cameo in Deadpool 3, even if it's like a 10-minute cameo or something like that." So basically, it's like gotten to the point where he goes, or if you don't get, and he basically goes, you need to get Hugh Jackman in the movie. If you don't, I'll give you a ticket. Like the cop was going to give Ryan Reynolds a ticket. Jesus. So it's almost getting to the point now going, okay, Hugh Jackman wants to be in Deadpool 3 now. Like he wants to be in a Deadpool movie. He wants to come back as Wolverine, possibly. So
it's weird that he doesn't want to be in it because he's normally a bloke that's like up for everything.
Well, he did everything, and then he did Logan, and then he was like, "I'm kind of done with the role," because he said the whole thing where he was done and stuff, and then he had the whole, and then I don't know whether it must have been a joke where he didn't want to be in the Deadpool movies because he just wanted to appear himself, he just didn't want to do anything. But now with this one, he's kind of like, okay, maybe I'm up for it. Like, basically, that's what he's getting at.
The TikTok of Ryan Reynolds getting his makeup done for Deadpool, and he cracks his shits.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't like it, and he like rips it all off and shit.
He's always does crazy shit like that.
I was like, that's like probably 6 hours of makeup, and he didn't like it, and he pulls it all off.
For a gag, yeah. He's pretty funny bloke. But I was like, that's kind of funny. Flip around now after like 2 movies or something.
Ryan Reynolds is doing some weird stuff. Like about a month ago, he was doing a mukbang.
Yeah, he's been doing all kinds of stuff. Like there was like the other post. Was it yesterday or today? There was a post on Twitter and Instagram where he went to a baseball match or something like that, and one of the baseball players signed a cap going to the Green Lantern from the Red Thunder or something like that. And he's like got this hat, and I'm like, wow, they really giving him the meme for the Green Lantern because he really hates that. But I mean, he did finally get around to watching the movie, and he said it was okay. So because he never watched his movie before.
It's not bad, but
it's a good movie.
The CGI so bad.
That's exactly it. So I liked the Green Lantern movie.
But the
fact that he'd never seen the movie though, which I was surprised he'd never seen a movie he was in.
I think he heard the reviews of it and he's like,
nope. And then he finally watched it before, was it Justice League Snyder Cut? So
that changed its release date now.
Did it?
Remember how I said it was coming out on DVD in May?
Mm.
It's now June or July. I think.
Maybe trying to get more pushes on HBO Max or something.
No, it's leaving there soon.
Yeah, most likely for the release, but they're trying to get those extra numbers in.
HBO Max someday.
Get those shoes.
Oh, also Des, you're not going to be happy with this.
What? Why?
JB Hi-Fi just got Afterpay.
I know. I saw that today. I was laying on the floor. I was laying on the floor, flicking through my phone on Facebook, and I'm like, "Ow!" And she's like, "What?" And I go, "You wouldn't believe this." And she goes, like, "What?" JB Hi-Fi. She goes, "Huh?" I'm like, "They've got Afterpay." And she's like, "And Zip Pay?" I'm like, "Yes." It's like, "Oh no." So she's like, "I'm gonna buy these games I wanted to get now that I couldn't afford."
Right? It's like
it's gonna be a trap. And I was like me, because I was like, I don't have the money, but I'll sneakily buy the new release of Pokemon Snap. So I was like, I'll buy that. I've been playing that a little bit on and off. It's been pretty fun.
I was watching someone play it. I got so bored.
Yeah, it can be a little bit boring, but it's a bit weird.
I never really used Afterpay until probably a couple of months ago. The first time I used it, I was getting a tattoo, and she's like, "You know, we accept Afterpay." I was like, "Pfft. Yes."
I know, that's what I want to do. I'm thinking of doing that, but I don't know who takes.
It's like,
well, that's what I mean. Some people had Ink Pay, and then I was looking at Ink Pay for a while, trying to find out who would do it, and then now, like, say that they actually do Afterpay, and I'm like, oh, don't tempt me.
Because I got the notification, I was like, JB Hi-Fi.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, because I've been talking about it for ages. It'd be nice if they had Afterpay. And I'm like, oh, now all the steelbooks I can buy.
More than EB, because EB just rips you off.
Well, now I will buy the steelbooks and games and stuff. I'll go to JB Hi-Fi all the time now.
Which I did see, Zack Snyder Justice League steelbook.
Ooh, I want to buy that.
It's only like $30 bucks.
That's pretty cheap.
You know where I'll buy games from versus EB now?
Mm.
And your work does.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, you go into EB and it's like, you're
$100.
Go-to stop for games, and I can go right across the road to Big W and get like $10 cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, you get anywhere between $10 to $30 cheaper.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
On titles, like,
come on.
It's just like, what the fuck are they on? It's just stupid. But
like places like that, if you're not competing with anyone, they're gonna shut.
Oh yeah. Save that. No, that was all my notes.
Going digital nowadays, like.
It's just
yeah.
I only go to EB for collector editions or statues. Like that's the only thing.
Well, that's like that. You'll be getting your Resi soon.
Even end of the week or so, aren't you?
You ready for Miss Tremiscu to suck your hand?
Damn straight.
Make it look like a dick.
What's the statue?
Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
Of him having the gun like that or something.
Damn.
I'm gonna just have that.
So I sent Jim the meme. I don't know if they intended it to look like that in the game or if it's just a situation that happened. But there's a still shot where she looks like she's basically sucking. It's like she's got Ethan's hand, or I think it's Ethan.
Wrist, yeah.
And it's basically like bitten her, like she must be sucking blood out of his hand. But with the way the angled hand is and the veins on his arm, it looks like she's sucking dick. So like, I'm wondering if they intended that.
The way her lips are as well. Like,
she looks like she's chowing down on that dick so hard.
Right?
I was just like, fuck, she's going for it.
It's in the recent trailer.
I mean, she is a big bitch, so I mean, looking at her wrist would look like that because she's larger than anything else. So,
Jim, do you own like the house you're in? Do you own that, or do you rent?
Rent. Why?
Damn, I was gonna say what you should do is those three top cupboards. You should pull the doors off them. And then paint the whole cupboard like a white or something, and then put backlights in the like very back of that cupboard, and put your statues in the middle of like each cupboard.
But yeah, so your family rents today.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I'll have my own room anyway. So I can sit
Yeah.
down properly.
More or less like my parents. My parents, like my dad said the other day, to me, like, because they've been doing the kitchen, like, they've done the kitchen up recently, but he's like, wants to do the whole place up basically and once they're done, give it to us. So I'm like, I want to have my, like, kind of at the point where I like not want to have my own place, but at the same time, I will be getting my own place eventually, which will be my parents' old place.
Like this.
Because Jim's got like everything
Play that.
expensive, but just doesn't have the background.
No, like me, I've got it all actually displayed. Like, I've got my
So
games.
good.
I've got my all my stuff just sitting there. Like it's all displayed nicely.
Yeah, that's
right.
good. You got
Oh no,
that
you
now.
can't. I'm pointing to it. and You can't see it. Like up top here. Gun.
No, it doesn't sit there.
My Gears of War Lancer.
Got
So-
cool stuff, man.
Yeah, you got like Elgato shit everywhere.
He's got all the Elgato shit.
I've
I've just.
got the Last of Us 2 statue in there, the Doom helmet in the damn wardrobe.
So you got all this cool shit that you just like can't display.
That's
That
actually it.
Doom helmet, I'd like to have it nicely there if I could.
It's one of those things with just space.
Come a long way from when you used to sit on the end of your bed, I suppose, Jim.
Oh, that was
Wall.
that last year?
Oh my god. I know.
Days.
Year before? I don't know what the fuck that
It's
was.
crazy. Coming back since we're talking about
Look how fast things change though. Like,
yeah.
it didn't seem that long ago.
No,
I was
that's like
streaming on console, fucking shitty.
well,
quality.
streaming on console.
Yeah.
Me and Jim like have barely like just briefly talked and stuff, and now look at us. Me and Jim, best buds. We're like fucking two peas in a pod that fucking shit stir each other. We can easily bag the bitch out of each other, and we're fine with it. Like we're best fucking bros. It's insane. Like I would never have expected, but we just clash really well.
It's crazy. Like we were all on console, and now we're virtually just PC.
PC,
players.
and that's exactly it.
Why? The Xbox, I've turned it on, got Rocket League, that's it.
Yeah.
His Xbox sitting there in the black. You can see it.
I mean, you don't know what the frick it even is.
It's just a black box. It's the internet. It's the internet.
It's a router.
That's literally the router.
Mm.
Look, the PS5 looks nothing like a router, really.
Oh, at least it's noticeable. You can actually see its shape. You can.
Right,
It's standard. It's definite.
I want to stand it up or have it displayed somewhere, but no room.
Oh.
I just want to show off my PS5. Just have
Flex it.
I
Just
just
flex
want
it.
to show it off that I've got one.
when the freaking box is right there.
Just have a sign,
Shut
a
the
noticeable
wardrobe.
sign that just says, pointing down here, this is a PS5 here. I own a PS5. I'm not lying. Don't make me grab it. He grabs it.
You know
Look,
those signs that line up, change the letters to spell whatever you want? I tried to find two of them in Big W or in
Oh, yep.
because I wanted to put one there and one there. It said eat ass and chew gum. Couldn't find it.
Damn, son.
Oh, like do the Walking Dead. Don't open dead inside. It's like dead. Was it dead? Dead. Don't open inside.
Everybody read it.
I don't know. I've been thinking of buying that, but like I've got nothing really else to put anything at this stage, and that shelf is like horrendous. It's good, but it's horrendous.
There's a fair bit of shit going on in there.
All the games, because just like statues, like Xbox One
Why
games and
display
360
that?
games. I know I had to move my statue because that didn't sit properly in there, and now it's over the other
The
side.
camera's in a weird spot because that's flat. I've got it
Well, actually,
tilted.
up there is all my. You can just see the edge of it. All that's pop vinyls on the
Yeah, I
wall there
see
to
that.
block it
It
out.
looks like it's leaning forward. That's weird.
Oh, it does because of the angle, because of the curve. If you look down here, this looks like a
It's
curve
like, nee.
because it's fisheye. What was I getting back to? So the other thing was, I mean, Jim should have something here because he's Mr. Positive Vibes. The other thing was, what's the best thing that's happened this year? So, I mean, for me, it
I've
would
got a
have.
few things written down for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mr. Positive Vibes. I mean, the only best thing that could really happen, that could say that's happened to me technically, would be Maxwell, little baby Maxwell.
Yes,
So-
well, that's probably one thing that you should say.
That'd be the best thing. Like that's got to be the best thing. Like if it was, I'm like being like, oh, I got really good on streaming and all this and that's like on the podcast. No.
I mean, you
Cyberpunk was finished.
put in there like your house, Maxwell, and your streams, really.
Yeah. So
Like,
I the big thing is basically Maxwell. Like we've got
Mm.
baby number 2, kid 2, and he's now what 6 weeks old. I think it is.
Already?
Yeah.
Shit, damn.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Crazy.
Where's this year going? It's nearly halfway through the year already.
I know.
My birthday's in 2 days.
2
I'm like-
days.
May the 4th.
Oh, May the 4th. Well, we'll do that now.
Oh,
We've been doing. Yeah, 2 days.
Yep, 2 days. Oh, well. Yeah, so.
2 days.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
2 days.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
I was like 3.
2 days. Tuesdays. 2 days. Tuesdays.
Star Wars Day.
May the 4th be with
Alright.
you, and we'll might as well. Happy birthday wishes. Happy birthday.
Yeah, whoop, whoop.
So that's all right. We've been doing a little bit of few birthday episodes the last couple of episodes. So.
Right.
Who's your next guest you reckon you'll get on?
I don't know. Like we want to start reaching out and get other people that's like
Still trying Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor.
Corey
Yeah.
Taylor, you're listening.
A few people I might be able to get.
Oh,
In,
I mean, he might be listening and I start plugging Slipknot in everything.
Mm.
Jim
Well,
won't be able to speak. He'll just be like,
Well, actually, that was like that meme. I think it was on that long episode. I can't remember because it was that. I think it was the long episode where it was like we're in one Discord, your brother joined, and then we changed the other Discord. And when that happened, his brother comes in, but his mute was muted, and he could hear us. And basically, what I did for the video was I put in a replacement in his spot, the CEO of CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and it comes in with the awkward face, like we're talking about something, and we were talking about Cyberpunk, and basically the awkward face shows up, and it's just him, like, oh, here's a special guest, and it just fitted so well. It's like, oh, look, we've got CEO of CDPR, and he's just like, oh, what are you guys talking about? Kind of look. He's just like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, that'd be funny if we could get stuff like that. Like, I can't wait.
I've recently discovered, God of War,
Yes.
Shuddy.
yes.
I'm trying to get the creator of who made the first game on here.
I'd love to get him in here and
He's
rant
like
about
us.
stuff.
Like, he'll rant about things just because they're shit.
Oh, that's what I'm for. If we can get him in here and just rant about stuff, like, I'm down for that. Like, just someone to rant with is just...
Surely you
what we
could,
want.
like, do people like that, do you have to pay for their time, or is like, they can just
I mean,
I don't know, like, if he's willing to just jump in just to chat, just because, whatever.
because he does this stuff daily, so because he gets guests on his, if we can get him or we go to him, like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm so down if we can get like,
Even if you
God
go
of War, like,
Like, that's it. If we get a creator of, like, a game, like, just willing to just jump in and just chat with us, like, that's a stepping stone. That's a gateway, because we've got someone that's from something.
if you Google
that opens it
David
up.
Jaffe, man,
Like, they'll give us a little bit extra boost. Like, man, that's just a start.
Though, that would help you as a gang, because, like, you could, he could plug yours and then use his platform, and that's, yeah.
That's exactly it.
because I just realised he had a YouTube channel. I've been watching his streams and everything.
Might
Like,
have to hit him up, message him, and be like, hey, we got a podcast, check it out. Do you want to join us sometime? We'll rant about stuff.
also the Beardies and Beardettes, if you want to get onto him as well.
Oh, yeah, our army's growing. Our army's growing. We've got 24 subscribers.
We
love-
start somewhere. Mr.
We got we love every single one of you. Muchly appreciate the support.
Please.
Well, it's like I did a poll the other day, like on the Instagram, and I was just like, who watches podcasts? Who watches Beardy Bros? And it was like 30-something people looked at it, 94 people replied to the polls. Like, come on, like, it's just a yes or no. Like, I really don't care. Like, I know, it's just like, I really don't care if you don't listen and you don't care about supporting. It's just like, I just want to get a stat of people that, like, what people actually do, so I know what other things to try. Like, and
I was like, what we're doing, bro. And at
least one of my friends, like, at least, or it's not, I think it was not one of my friends, it's one of ours friends, but they follow the Instagrams and stuff, and they're just blatantly up like, no, like, I don't listen to podcasts, I don't follow Beardy. I'm like, that's fine, like, that's all I wanted to know. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, what you hate us for? You should be following us. Like, I'm not gonna be like, like, I want to know.
We don't appeal to everyone, like, Jesus.
That's exactly it. Like, you either like us or you don't. Or you like podcasts, you don't.
We don't simp to people.
Yeah, we just do what we do.
The things you just talk about, it's like gaming related. If you're not a gamer, you're probably not going to listen to it.
No.
Just straight up. Like,
It's one of those things, but again, like, you can just listen just for the banter and just talk about random shit, because we do.
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking about everything.
Because, well, I'm at work and, like, I know you, so I might as well support it. And I just keep coming back every week.
Yeah.
Like at work, I'm like, have I already listened to the episode? Fuck!
Yeah, like,
Crack.
it's like, you need more of it, you need more of it. That's what, like, me, like, I love doing it. We need more of the episodes.
Well, I was keen Friday, wasn't it? I was like,
yeah, you thought it was
Friday,
like
"Oh,
Saturday.
Friday or
And it's like,
Thursday."
oh, Saturday, but it's like, we're doing it Sunday. It's like, oh. I mean, I could. I feel like I could do this stuff kind of like every day, but you got to balance it out because you can't do it all the time. Like streaming is one
No,
thing,
you can't have an
and
hour
podcast
video
is
every day. That'd be
it's
a
just
bit.
too much. Like unless we're going to become our own TV show kind of thing
No,
for
remember
web
what I said? Radio station. We were on 24/7.
I
24/7.
think too. I think it probably helps even if you can keep them at like an hour. And like, cause like the bent is so strong for like that first hour and that, like it's
And
sort of like
it has moments where the episode's either the full way through or it's like an hour and then it's dead, or it's dead and then it picks up. Like it's all over the place, but it just happens. It's just how we go with it, and we don't know. Like it's just
Like,
it's all spur of the moment.
from
Because we don't want
like,
to script it because that's.
We don't really script it. It's better not.
yeah. Well,
Always-
you like that's fair enough too. You don't want to fucking script it, but
Because all I put is that, like, just dot points.
And we
pretty
just go through it. Like I had mine, I went through it. But what were you going to say? The third person.
so, yeah, from a third person, like someone that watches, like listens all
yeah.
the time. It sort of it hits about the 45-minute mark, and then it sort of like
Peters
dips
down
down,
sometimes. Yeah.
sort of dies a bit, and then it will go back up. But sort of if you can keep it at an hour, you keep your viewers at it.
Hour and a
Yeah.
half.
Well, that's hard. It is tricky. I mean, we're already at an hour and 45 minutes.
That's right.
Like I reckon we'll get to 2 hours, just over 2 hours, most probably, and start wrapping it up. So that,
Probably call it 2 because if it goes over, people are like, really?
but like some people will listen. I guess like you, I guess for work, it's you can listen to most of it through the whole way.
Yeah, so I can do the whole thing. So for me, like I'm listening
'Cause you're
between.
working.
Yeah, because I have a break every 2.5 hours. So I'll like listen, and then I'm like, fuck, I still got half an hour before I gotta go on a break, and I'm like, I gotta listen to bloody songs now. So.
So it can be here or there, like it's those moments. So like it's good having like, but like I said, when we've had the 3 episodes, I feel like that is a bit too much. But I feel like we're already at 2 hours. If we had Wookiee, I would almost feel like this would. I'm no joke. I reckon this episode would have been a 4-hour long episode. No joke. If we had Wookiee, like.
We had a 4-hour one, but we cut the hour off for the freaking extra part.
Oh yeah, no, because we were like, oh, we did this, and like, oh, we'll go for a little bit long after the podcast, and then went for an hour and something.
Because we went from like 8 to 12. I'm like, oh.
Actually, I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious. I don't want to, but I'm like, kind of want to see if he's on.
I think it's sort of the time scares people too. So like when they're looking at it and they're like, oh, 3 hours. It's like
They step away from it.
I don't have time for that. Sort of
Unless they're doing work or traveling or.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're perfect. But the thing is, that's the thing. Like, especially for Spotify, you can listen to it, pause it, and then come back to it.
Yeah,
Like it stays where you're at. Like you can listen to it. Like, and I've seen like a lot of podcasts I look through. They're about that long, like hour and a half. They can be fairly length, and it does depend on what you have. I know personally there have been times like say it's got that high point and it goes down and it picks up again. So usually from my experience, what happens is like I've got the energy and I start getting tired. So I start coming down, and I'm like, and then I'm like, I'm awake again. It's like, full speed down. It's going at 100 miles again. So it depends on the conversation, I feel like, or where it's going. And then sometimes if one of us gets tired, or
I remember one episode you just like.
I zoned out. I was like,
I was just talking. I was like, yeah.
And I seriously told him like the next day, I'm like, you were seriously talking to me, and I'd zoned out. I was that tired, like I didn't even know what was going on.
That's what actually that episode is what made me bring that up. It was like it made.
Basically felt I was falling asleep. I was falling asleep on the podcast.
I was like, they were just like wasn't there.
Because I was basically zoning out. I was tired. I was just like brain dead. I was like, I like basically falling asleep, just staring. I was like,
looking shit up on the computer too, so you were sort of like focused on that.
And that's why I've learned to get it all sorted. Try and find what I need to do, especially if there's the three people. I go, okay, it's easier for me to kind of like look at something because something can happen, but definitely like we keep flying now. I know, like I have it already. I have it all tabbed open out so I can go to it, and it's easy. But it's one of those things. I don't know if he's going to respond. He may. Oh no, someone else messaged me today.
I don't reckon he's on.
Nah, he won't be. He's too busy playing poker. I don't care. Maybe playing.
He'll be on
poker.
later.
Oh yeah, definitely. But coming back to it, so that was my positive. So what about you guys? What was yours positive for the?
We'll go to Jim first because
he's trying to pass it to you.
Jim can't think again.
I don't honestly know.
I mean, mine's technically streaming because I've just gone boom.
Well, so yeah, your state of survival. You've been doing good for that.
Oh yeah, got the survival, just my Twitch as well. I mean, it's taken off recently. Like,
yeah, I noticed last night. Like there was enough Like, because when I stream, it's the same sort of thing as like you guys. Like, it'll be dead for a few hours, but last night was actually like a pretty consistent sort of chat for you.
Yeah, well, I can average 5 to 10 now, which is pretty nice, I think. Like,
yeah,
because I read if you get average 20, you're in the top 1% on Twitch. It's like I'm halfway there.
Yeah, you're a top 6 or something like that. You're in.
Like the other day, I was like, I joined in the gym stream and dropped some bits in there. I was like, wait, BRB, I'm going to Daz's stream.
Oh no, Jim keeps giving me crap because I was shit stirring that time when like we were both streaming and then like you jumped into his stream. And I was joking about it, and it's like, oh, what are you doing in his stream? You didn't even come to my stream because I was shit stirring Jim, and then you come to mine, but like 7 other people had come across as well. Because mine went from 2 to 1 viewer or 2 viewers. You come across, and I think Stoke came across as well because he decided to jump across, and then it jumped up to 9 people or whatever it was. I was like, what the fuck is all these? What? I was like, only stirring. Like I didn't mean it, and then there's all these people here. I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening right now, and then it's like, what? It was a joke. But
I still use the preference, because I'm a mod in gyms. I'll go in his before I go.
Yeah,
into
exactly.
Verse. It's so hard, but
oh well, that's exactly when there's so many people streaming. You can't have so many open. It's just and that's like me. I'll be playing, and I'll have my stream running for my chat, and it gives me an extra view, but it helps me mod from a different perspective. And then I'll have another stream open because I'm a mod in gyms, so sometimes I'll mod if no one else is on. So I'll be streaming, reading my chat and modding Jim's stream while I'm playing at times. And then there'll be Neb who streams from he uses his phone. He doesn't stream because he streams from console, and I'll sometimes have to jump into his stream, so I have to quickly open his tab up, jump to him, go in there, someone's saying something, and delete their mod things, the mod for him, delete their crap because they're trying to do something, and it's like, oh my god, it's like there's so much going on. It's like fuck me.
A mod for Jim when I'm at work because it's a perfect time when he streams because I can watch him for the whole time he streams.
Oh, like that, yeah. You'll
I'll be sitting there watching the stream, and then the machine will chuck a bag off. Every 60 bags, it throws a bag off, and I go out there. I'm like, hopefully no one's fucking being racist or anything. Then go back, and I'm like,
so that's the PRB.
Yeah, you'll notice I disappear for a while, and then I'll come back. That's me looking after the machine.
Actually doing some work.
Trying to keep Johnny entertained of a night shift.
Well, that's it.
So so Jim's is his Twitch and stream and stuff going off. His streaming career taking off.
I said I'm gonna get there this year.
That's the thing. So I actually logged on to I was looking at some jobs because my work's been pretty shit. And I got settling. Oh, my job actually is starting to crack down on me next month. Looking for more jobs. So I've been applying for more jobs, and one came up for a controller tester. I was like, okay, why not? Looked them up. It's a weird business I've been running for a while, but apparently it's a home run business. But basically, they must repair controllers and stuff, and you test them to make sure everything's working properly. So I'm like, hey, why not? So I was going through making up my resume, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll put it on there. So as an added addition, I put down the bottom social media social media presence. And I'm like, content creator, YouTuber, streamer. And I was like, fuck it.
Twitch as well.
I was like, fuck it. I might as well show that I've got some kind of presence online. I do shit that I got to manage. I was like, had these things. Might as well.
I mean, technically, we get money from Twitch, so we got to put it down.
It's technically work, and it's technically shows that we do manage stuff because we have to be talking to people. You still have to socialize. It does help that I've got my retail experience talking to people. Still customers, streaming, you still have customers to a degree, and you still got to talk to people. So,
except you get more trolls streaming than actual work.
I know. Well, there's a difference between trolls and
where you work.
Idiots. But yeah, so it's one of those things. Oh, but yeah. But
I mean, I did say partner this year, but I don't reckon I'll get partner.
No, what 6 months, 7 months left?
It's pretty hard to get partner, I suppose.
Not really. You just got to get your 75 people in, bro.
That's all I'm at. That's all I'm at. I've hit every other marker challenge point. It's just getting 75 concurrent views for the whole month.
It's not counting rage and that. It's just all in one stream, 75. I'm like, who does that really? Unless you're right up there.
Yeah, I haven't had that many. I think I've had 35 as my max.
Yeah, it's.
Well, looking at my stats, one of the stats I pushed, I've had because there's the challenges kind of
You don't
award
follow them.
milestone. No, well, they're just like a little achievement milestones you can do, so it kind of makes streaming a little bit funny. You go, oh, I can get to this goal. It's like unlocking achievements. They do nothing, but it's just achievements. And one of them, which I was surprised, it said 49 out of 50 like people in the stream at one time. I was like, when the fuck did I have 49 people in my stream?
Raid, maybe.
And I'm like, I've seen raids come through and it's been like small amount, but like when did I actually have 49 people at one time? I was like, I don't even remember that happening. But I was like, fuck, I was one off from the achievement because you need 50. I was like, god damn it, why can't I have that extra one person? But I was like, fuck, I didn't realize I had that many. I was like, damn, I did pretty good then that time. So
it's amazing what you find out when you read through your analytics. So like, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
But
I agree for sure.
But yeah, so did you have any good thing this year, Jetty? Do we know?
I don't really know. I sort of probably got my mental health in check a fair bit. That's sort of why I stepped away for a while there, because I went downhill pretty quick.
Yeah.
With a relationship breakup and that sort of thing, and just sort of happy with work and everything. But I got all that in check, so we're slowly coming back, and we should be streaming again shortly, hopefully, and get back to the game.
Get back into the games.
Yeah. So if I'm not doing anything, I might as well be gaming, I reckon. So.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. So we just game and stream it now. Why not? We're gaming, so you might as well stream it. It does take a lot of energy, though, when you in front of the people.
Well, before I stopped, I was doing 12-hour streams every time I streamed. So
yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it, but it just sort of streaming's easy if you've got a constant chat flow. You could stream for hours and it wouldn't bother you, but if it's dead for a while, you're sort of just like, fucking, especially playing, like, I play COD because that's just, I smash COD, but you'd just be sitting there like, holy shit, I'm about to fall asleep.
Well, that's it. Well, no, we're nearly. Did you have any little bits of news there that we haven't covered before we get closer to that end? We start going.
Second Extinction Game Pass.
Yep, that's right.
PC and
yes, so that's on both. So
which that's cool. Does just basically just bought the damn thing.
Yeah, I bought it and haven't actually played it yet, and it's like,
doesn't matter, like, you own it. So.
Well, that's exactly. I made that tweet out where it's like, oh, it's kind of annoying that's on Game Pass, but like at least I've basically bought it, so I'm supporting the company. So making point that Game Pass, you're not really supporting anyone because that's been a big thing lately as well.
Microsoft,
that's it. You're not supporting the actual game studios that develop the game. So.
But wouldn't Microsoft have to pay them?
Yeah, but not
at least they pay weird parts.
They make more selling the game than putting on Game Pass.
Yeah, right. Yep.
At least I know more money's going straight to them.
They get more exposure on Game Pass, though. That's the thing. Like.
Yeah, so they use Game Pass for when their sales are pretty much dead.
Yeah.
They can make money.
They build hype, and they take it off Game Pass, and then people buy it.
Yeah.
Like the
hopefully
GTA.
Outriders does that because it's a good game. Like
that makes sense if they do take it off to bait people in. So people will have a hissy fit, but hey, it's like everyone else had to buy it on every other platform. So
it's funny how like companies do that marketing sort of thing. Like it's like Great Northern Beer, for example. April Fool's Day, they put up the release of Great Northern Long Necks, and it blew up. The internet was like, "This is sick," and then they're like, "Haha, April Fools," but in reality, they use that as a marketing to see how much of an evil they have them.
Yeah,
people would then buy them.
Well, that's exactly. It's a good test. It goes, okay, people really want them. We'll start producing them.
Yeah, and that's what they did. Now they make them. Like it's
a great idea to get feedback, and that's exactly it. It's good to know. Like you don't know what to do if people aren't giving you their information.
Yeah, it cost them nothing to make a Facebook post that blew up. So like, that's the cheapest marketing they would have ever done.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so anything else? Was that nothing else, Jim?
Also, Pokemon Snap and Returnal came out Friday.
Yep, I basically covered that with Pokemon.
Which Returnal, I mean, that's getting very good reviews.
Yeah, that's doing pretty good.
Apart from people saying it's harder than Dark Souls.
Which people are really getting into it now.
It's a damn roguelite, like, it's meant to be.
Who was talking about that? Someone, I think it was you, Jim, that said Dark Souls was hard.
Dark Souls is hard.
Yeah, I said it must have been last night. You were just talking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, right." I'm play it.
Wait, was it when you came by my stream? You might have come by my stream. I was talking with Kev.
Yeah,
I was playing with Kev up really late. Yeah, might have been then because I think he popped in, and me and Kev were talking about it.
Yeah,
because Kev's played the games backwards. He started with Bloodborne and went backwards to Dark Souls or whatever.
I did the same thing.
Mm.
I played Bloodborne and then recently the Dark Souls.
Then 3, 2, 1, and then whatever.
No,
You
1, 2, 3, but
You watch Jaws in reverse. It's just a shark giving limbs to disabled people.
Bleh, bleh.
Here you go. And also the Plus games for this month. Have you heard them, Des?
No.
Okay. So, PS4, you get Battlefield 5 and Stranded Deep,
That's not too bad.
which is a survival.
Stranded Deep, yeah, I played a bit of that.
It's pretty good, but it's hard.
It is hard because they don't give you any like idea of how to do things.
No.
They literally just throw you on the island and it's like figure it out.
It's like, what are they? There's like flowers. Where are these flowers?
Yeah.
I don't see any.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I ended up cracking the shits and just swam to the furthest island I could. So that's all I did.
Jesus. And you own a PS5, you get Wreckfest,
Yes.
the upgraded Wreckfest, which
No, which is the
looks
remaster,
pretty
like
damn cool.
like a high quality 4K or whatever.
Die Hard Race something. I think it's an upscaled. Looks
Yeah.
damn. It looks
Pretty
cool.
cool.
Good.
Because they did chuck that out on Game Pass for Xbox, so it's something good to go over to PlayStation, give them an extra game for people to play.
And one thing I'm very keen for is it's been put out there from Neil Druckmann that Last of Us Part 3 has been planned out story-wise already. So,
Jeez.
which is pretty cool.
Zombies and Joel returns.
Wait, who?
Like it's gone from like the infect. Hey,
What? Did
Last of Us?
you say Joel return? the Revenge of Joel. Will you do this to me? He just comes out as like
goes from the going from the weird infected things to actually having zombies. Like actually,
they destroyed the brain though.
So who knows? That's what I'm saying. Like it changes.
Club to the fucking head, like.
Shit. I'm falling asleep. What time? It must be late.
Yeah, it's 10:30.
But yeah, like story's been planned out, so they did say it's not coming out anytime soon. They're not working on it anytime soon, so.
Yep.
They got that new game coming out eventually, the sci-fi space game.
Yep. The other one or whatever it was.
I'm thinking Last of Us Part 3 will be end of this generation, like in 7-8 years.
Yeah. They'll do that same kind of thing. At least we get another game.
Nah, it'll be a lot quicker than that. They've already got the assets and stuff, so. Who knows? Could be about 2026, 25.
We'll have to wait and see.
I want to finish the damn story.
Trilogy.
I'm so pissed.
Mark my words, if they bring out a Driven to Destruction on PS5, I will buy a PS5.
A what?
Driven to Destruction. Do you remember that on PS2? It was like free roam Wreckfest. So good.
I never played it.
It was so good. I'll buy
I thought
it.
you were meaning the Micromaniacs.
No.
Oh god.
Remember that game? Like it was racing, but people ran. Like it was little dudes running around.
That's crazy.
So cool.
The times.
Well, that's
PS1 and PS2 had the best games.
Oh yeah, there's some crazy games back then.
Can we get another Gex? That'd be dope.
Well, that's what everyone was saying recently. There was a post pricing that people are trying to push for another Gex or at least a remaster or something, like a remake or something. So. And
Sly Cooper, that's apparently being something.
Haven't gone on with that as well, so. But I think that's
That's a Beardedversary podcast.
This has been the year. This has been the year episode. I mean, the other thing was we basically looked back over the season. I reckon we can keep going. I reckon it's going to look fantastic in the future.
Oh, fuck
Well, maybe one day we'll have a studio, the Beardy studio.
Oh yeah.
We could do everything in our own little hub.
It'll be a
proper hub.
Office building.
It'll be a proper Beardy hub. We have a big sign outside.
It'd be nice to have everyone on the one camera, like just at the one table.
I have like a couch and a table and everything. Just have it all there. One day.
The couch would be pretty cool, like just on the couch, fucking.
Well, see, I was gonna do like a podcast with my mates in the shed, like when we're building cars and that, and like work on the car while doing a podcast, like about cars.
So many swear words.
Oh yeah, it definitely would be.
I invented a few when I was doing cars. Oh my god. The things you say is just. What did I just say? Didn't make any sense.
It bloody happens.
It just comes out.
Well, congratulations, boys.
We've hit the it's been a year. Time for many more in the future.
Yep.
And we'll leave it to Jim to do his.
That's crazy though. A whole year.
Do his wrap up as always.
Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
Hey. It's not on. It's not on. I thought my thing might have been on because I actually have a short key with that sound effects thing where I press it and it goes. I actually got that binded, and I was hoping it had it binded, but I was like, maybe it's on, and I clicked it. I'm like, no, it's not on. So it's not. So.
Wrap your tool. That would have been.
I was doing it. I was doing it on stream, but anyway, maybe I could do it in the editing. Maybe if I feel like doing it. But no, as always, leave it to Jim to wrap it up.
You know how it goes. We've been Dale and Jim and Juddy. Wait, I think Juddy's there on mine.
He's the other side. He's up there for me.
Juddy somewhere there.
I'm here.
He's there.
Thank you for listening to episode 18.
I
did a Daz.
Season
18. We've been Dale and Jim and Juddy. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Happy 1 year anniversary! And that makes me chuffed. Oh, fuck's sake.